There it is.
There it is. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show today.
And our excellent adventure.
That's right. And the Pating Nation, we want to welcome everybody that's going to be joining us tonight and also those that watch it in the future. So let me go. We're going to talk a little bit. Let me pull up. I got to screech over here and talk a little bit about, there we go. Ticket tape. Our new Sturgis 83rd Rally 23rd. Share your health info. That's our new Facebook group that we put out to kind of give general people information, and you guys can help. Those that have been to Sturgis, you can give out some help to help that out. And I'm actually going to post right now in case some of those want to come on our channel tonight and they can talk to us. We broke 30,000 subscribers on that
On the
Facebook page. So it's pretty exciting. We're actually just about 100 away from breaking 20,000 now on our
YouTube.
That's right. So it's pretty exciting. We're moving along pretty quick. We gained, gained about 3,000 or 4,000 here in Sturgis. So we want to thank all of you that have joined us and jumped on board. You can pull up the other one and kind of see what comments. We're going to talk a little bit about in just a few minutes. We've got a guest coming on, a couple of guests. They're going to talk for just a few minutes. Some of you may know who they are when they come on, and some of you may not know who they are.
There's a Bob. He says Pating times 3.
I already commented his. I don't know if he's even still on anymore because I wrote back and said hi to him. So he may already be gone.
Shame about the throttle. We're
going
to
talk about the throttle in just a few minutes. We're going to talk about that. To tell you kind of that they had a really bad storm go through Sturgis the other night. There's a video up from kickstands, which I didn't put that on ours because it didn't really show anything. It just showed, almost looked like a giant funnel cloud was coming in. So it was pretty bad, and we're going to talk about what happened to the full throttle. Michael Ballard's actually talking on the first one that I put up during it, and he talked a little bit about it. I mean, he's used to this kind of stuff. He's been in Sturgis for a long time, and a lot of storms come through, and everybody rebuilds. We're waiting for Rod to see if he'll write back and let us know if he had any damage out there at the chip. So we're going to talk about that. So we got quite a few people already on. So let's talk a little bit about that. Talk about a little bit about the full throttle. Full throttle saloon got the brunt of the storm, it looks like. We haven't heard from anybody else on any damage. They lost a few cabins. The skull that they had for the burnout, it destroyed it. It smashed it. It slammed it up against the bridge pillar. If you go to our Facebook group, you can actually go to this one too, and you can check it out and see the damage that's been done there. They had some cabins blown away. The stage that they had around the pool, it's gone. It's actually in the pool. A lot of damage they had. They had a semi-trailer, got flipped over. A lot of damage. Michael Ballard was on the other day. He was doing it live, and I caught that right when he was putting it on. And there was actually somebody parked out front, and they were like, go around the back. And they pulled them up underneath their canopy in the back. Because if there was a tornado coming through, you sure don't want to be sitting in your car out in the parking lot. No. So none of their big statues seem to have gone down, but it's more
Bridges
wooden.
Were still up.
Yeah, most of the wooden stuff is what kind of got destroyed. It looks like maybe 3 or 4 cabins that might have got leveled. I can't quite tell by the pictures for sure, but you can definitely see the big skull was slammed up against and that's a real shame because that guy took him almost a year. We met him
Richard,
and talked about him before. And he's been, I don't think he came on our channel, but I think it was in 2020, might have been 2021, that I talked to him, and I think he was building the skull at that time.
Yeah, he was. The guy was out front doing it. So we were surprised they put it in the back because we thought they were going to leave it front. Yeah. But I think that's where the guy works on all of it.
That's what happens when you don't anchor stuff down. And, I know Michael Ballard will rebuild it, and that's what he said, even on the video.
At least it didn't burn down.
Yeah. I don't think the way he built it now with the metal, at least that part's not going to ever burn down again. Now, maybe the other, I couldn't tell by the pictures if the wine, between the saloon, the moonshine building and the metal building, if that bar was destroyed. I seen some things being said, but I couldn't tell if that's what they were talking about that just destroyed it. But I'm not sure. So we'll find out some more stuff soon. We actually know some of the people that work out there full time, so we'll get a hold of them next week and see if they'll give us a little report, and then we'll get back with you guys and let you kind of know about that. So we're still waiting for the Buffalo Chip. He hasn't wrote back yet to let us know if there was any damage out there at his property or not. Can't tell kickstands. The video that they put up was just showed the storm coming. So it didn't even show any rain, storm, or anything. So out there,
it's very spotty where it hits, and it hits a hit and miss. And tornadoes are bad about that too.
It could have been the full throttle, and that could be the only one that got any damage. That's the way the Black Hills works. But I mean, that just shows you what could happen when you're out there. It's a very dangerous time in the summer there with the storms and stuff blowing up. And we got really lucky this year that we really didn't have any really bad storms in Sturgis, at least.
So maybe that ice bar you created localized the low pressure system that made the storm more intense. It really wasn't an ice bar. I think they've got like some frozen drinks there.
I think intention was they were going to make an ice bar because we had talked to them in 2021, I think. We talked to them and they said, yeah, Michael bought a refrigerated truck and he was taking all the cooling things out and putting it in that's what he was planning on doing. And I think with time, we were out there in 2021 and we actually filmed when they were putting the big truck up there. And I got all that on camera and stuff, but I don't think it ever turned out like they want. And they ended up just putting 2 frozen drink machines in there and they just let it go with that. But so it's pretty exciting. So we just want to tell everybody down below
here.
Hair
Farmer Marion said he's going to go out there tomorrow. They're out there.
Oh, okay.
And he'd go out there and check it out.
Do some reporting for us. Yeah.
Check out our number.
Did you have any trouble where you're at? Because you're right next door to the buffalo chip, right?
No.
Oh, he's not the one that's got the.
He's the one that. No, he's the one that stays out there in. He lives in like Sioux Falls area.
Oh,
and he comes over. We had breakfast at the Fort Hayes and had pancakes with him.
Oh, okay.
And they went out to the hippie thing.
Okay.
That's who he is.
So yeah, go check that out, and just kind of drive through town and let us know if there's anything that's going on. If you do, take some pictures and put them on our Facebook pages. You can put them on the group page, now it's not our personal. Well, I'm the administrator, so I started the page. I monitor it. We've also got
Mike. For you guys.
Yeah, Mike is actually one of the monitors that's on here, and also Wyatt's dad, Devin. Yeah. He's another one of my monitors that I've signed up. We have 2 other people that are monitors that have not gotten back to us yet. And they wanted to be monitors. One of them, she owns a business, so we're waiting, and she's on vacation, so we'll see when she comes back if she wants to be a monitor or not. But we're pretty good. Mike's doing a really good job at helping me out. We're still getting a few crazy people putting stuff on there, but we're trying to catch it pretty quick. Let's turn the radio off first. Phone off.
Well, first. I didn't think it was on. I thought I turned it down.
So it's pretty exciting. We got a few things we're going to talk about tonight. And let you know what's going on in 2023.
Oh, Richie.
We'll talk a little bit about 2022 still. Talk about some rallies that are coming up. The Monkey Man's going to one in, where the heck is that at? Oklahoma, I think.
What is
Hot Shot or something? The Monkey Man. He's going to one. I think it's over Labor Day weekend.
Oh, well, I thought the one at Four Corners was Labor Day too, wasn't it?
It is. So Four Corners is going on at the same time Labor Day. Actually, Rod from the Buffalo Chip is supposed to be riding his brand new Indian motorcycle, but we were going to try to catch up with him, but that's Labor Day weekend, and that's the only time the kids come out and visit with us. So we won't be going over there.
Oh, I don't know what I did.
Click off to the side. To the side.
All right.
It's going to delete everybody.
Not on purpose. Glad that Sandy said she's glad that's Mrs. Crep on a Cracker said she was glad didn't hit when we were all having fun, but you never know. I mean, it very easily could have.
And it's been really lucky, knock on wood, knock on metal, whatever you want to knock on. We have been very, very lucky that we've never really had hail. We had a little bit in Rapid City the month before the rally. It was more just not even pea size, and it really didn't do anything. I didn't see anything on any of our vehicles.
Like tick, 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 tick. That was
a lot in the aluminum trailer.
Yeah.
So I'll talk a little bit about that. If you guys wanted to see the video yesterday, that tells you why we have an ATC trailer. Not a lot of people watched it. If you want to know, if you're looking for a toy hauler and you're interested in something that's built very good, something that's going to last you a lifetime, that's what we bought. And it tells you a little bit about, we got one of the manufacturer people talk to us in Sturgis, told you a little bit about how they construction. Cam filmed, they actually had a little cutaway there to show you how they built it. It's pretty neat. And
cool. So Pancho got his first new big bike, the 2022 Street Glide Custom.
There you go.
He's counting the days down to the next rally. So what's going to be his first rally he's going to get to go to?
Yeah. So, the fall rallies are coming up soon, and we are not doing any of the fall rallies this year. With the garage going on, and we'll talk a little bit about the garage, but we're actually going to put a video up tomorrow and show you what we're going to be doing with the garage. Probably won't be a very long one. We just filmed it a while ago, got that done. So we'll show you that. Hopefully by the end of the week, it'll be completely finished. building wise, and then I've got a lot of work to do in between.
And his work starts. So Ralph, are you back out in California where it's nice and cool? We were out there. We left this morning. It was in the low 80s, 81. I said 81 here feels a lot different than 81 back in Sturgis.
Or 81 in Florida.
Yeah, it was.
The humidity wasn't too bad.
Windows were down. It was nice and cool. Yeah.
We could have gone all the way home if she got on the phone. It was even in the 90s. It wasn't too bad till we got back here. It was about 106 here today. The rest of the week is going to be like 114 here, so it's going to be pretty hot. I don't know. I got to wait for the building to get done. I got to wait for the building inspectors before I can do anything after that. Once that happens, then we can start doing stuff. I got a water line to put in and some different things like that. I guess I can put the water line in ahead of time, but I don't want to do it when this.
It's 115 years old. 115 years old. 115 degrees. The stunt riders were over at the Harley tent.
Well, there was several. There was some out at the full throttle, not the full throttle.
Well, he said he thought it looked like it was by Rumble On, so that would have been the one.
Yeah, across the street. Over at the Harley dealer, they had their stunt riders. Now it was varied the days that it had. They also had the police out there the last couple of days. The Chip had their stunt riders out there doing their stuff. So there was a lot of good action going on this year that it's really hard to keep track of all that. You know, somewhere I seen a flag come down. Somebody had a video of a parachuter bringing a flag down, but it didn't really, I don't know if it was out at the, I don't know. Chip? I don't think it was at the Chip because you would have thought it would have been on Friday if they would have had it.
Somebody, where were we at?
But it almost looked at, it looked like it was like at a campground, like maybe out at the Full Throttle or something, because it looked like it was a field they were standing in. So I know they did do a patriotic thing.
That was Tuesday. Tuesdays when they had the flyover, that was like the presentation to the.
They had the parade and all that, but I didn't see anything else put up. But this guy shot a video and it looked like it was in a field. He was standing and shooting up at the. So I don't know. If anybody seen the flag coming down, the parachuter, let us know where that was at. Just curious.
Okay, Rep. He's going to be in.
Can't see it all.
I know.
Just too much stuff going on. It does look like, well, at this moment, it does look like
rally flies.
We're going to spend most of our time next year at the Chip during rally time, just to cover all the stuff. It's just, that's what's with Sturgis is there is way too much stuff going on. And so this next year, we're going to try to give you guys as much leeway. What happened this year was pretty much everybody was pretty much screwed up with their events. That nobody, even the city, was so far behind on their stuff. And the bad thing is if you want to do like the pub crawl or the mayor's ride or anything like that, they let the people live in the city know first. So by the time it gets public, it's already sold out. So, you know, we're going to try to get you that information as quick as possible to maybe some of you can get that information if you want to be involved with some of that. A lot of the other rides you can get into, the Rusty Wallace, the Legends ride, they don't really have a cap on how many people they put on that. So those rides are always available. It's usually Legends rides usually Monday, and I think Wednesday is the
Rusty Wallace.
And I think Tuesday this year was the Bells, which I'm assuming it'll be the same next year.
I think that's how it usually is. So Ralph is still in Sturgis. He's the guy with the trike with the dog on the back, the bulldog. He said they had tornado warnings 2 nights ago in Sturgis.
That was that's when it hit Full Throttle. It was 2 nights ago.
I don't know if he was on.
It was on Friday night. So we're just you didn't have any trouble in Sturgis? You didn't have see any damage in Sturgis? You were out for the last couple of days? Because that's what we're trying to find out. The Full Throttle got hit pretty hard. Tore up their big giant skull head that has the burnouts. It destroyed that, slammed it against the bridge, blew a couple cabins completely into shambles, tore their stage apart that was on at the pool. It's gone, destroyed pretty much anything that was pretty much wooden laying around. I think one of the bars out there looked like it was made out of wood, was kind of tore up. So it might have only hit out there by Butte Mountain, might have got the brunt of the storm.
We should try to get a hold of Grizzly. He might know too.
Yeah, he might know.
Yep. So
maybe he'll come on tonight.
Larry's on. Larry Topping's on, and so is Marcus from Camp Easy Ride. He's on. He says the pop-up tent camps. Good thing you weren't out there.
Well, I don't know how bad it was.
See,
it might have been, which it is. They had a tornado I think, was it last year? They had the tornado in Spearfish.
Yeah. And no, 2 years ago. It was 19.
It was.
We saw it 19. It was 19 because we saw it in 20.
So what we did is we were calling out there to make reservations and stuff. And that lady goes, I got to go right now. I got to hang up.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, wait, I got to get everybody in the storm shelter. There's a tornado
She
coming.
said the sirens
She
are
was in
going and the
Sturgis.
winds are blowing.
And so then we called back.
That was it. Sturgis RV
A
park.
couple hours, they called us back a couple hours later and said, they were okay, everything was fine, but they heard Spearfish got it. Well, it wasn't Spearfish, the town got it. It was Spearfish Canyon. That's where if you see all those trees tore down, that's the way it is out there.
Past the lodge.
A storm can come through like that, and it may hit over here.
Jumping over from the tornado. Cars were taking cover from the tornado.
Yeah.
I thought they were. Oh my goodness. Am I that far behind?
Yeah,
Where am I
probably.
at? Well, a minute ago I was all cut up. There's Brian. He just stumbled in, he said.
So this is the running across the bottom now. If you guys are seeing that, we updated the new group page, which is a general page. It's called the Sturgis 83rd Rally 2023. Share your info and help. We're not selling T-shirts on there. We're not playing any games. People put that on there. We're not doing any jobs, nothing like that. We might do jobs when we get closer to the rally. We'll have to contact some of the bars and see if they want to post stuff. But without prior approval, we're not going to put any of that on there because we want to make sure things are legit. We don't mind, like Marcus, if you want to put your tents on there for Sturgis. Now, this one's only Sturgis. If you want to put some information on tents, as long as people can get information from you. I don't want PMs being done. Because a lot of that, like there was a photographer that's on there. I wrote him and said, hey, you got to put some kind of information. You either got to put your email, phone number or something. He should put his phone number. He's from Oklahoma. He does those fancy pictures. And so I'm like, unless somebody complains they got a bad picture from the guy, we'll let him put them up there. Any local businesses, I don't mind letting them post stuff. But once again, we're not selling T-shirts on our site. We're not playing any games. People have been putting things, read this backwards, and you can get some Bitcoins or something. We're not doing, if it ain't about Sturgis, it's not allowed on the page. Now, there's a few exceptions. People put some funny jokes up there and stuff about motorcycles and stuff, and I'm okay with that. Somebody put a bike it's got like, in the front wheel, it's got like 5 motors on it. Looks like airplane motors off a little plane, bike, one of these little planes you fly, like Art's got. I can't think what those planes are called. But
planes?
No, those are planes like Art has.
Oh, RC?
Yeah, whatever. That's RC cars, but I don't know if it's RC.
Is that what they call them about planes?
I don't know. But that was on there. I let that go on there. So we're really watching. Me and Mike's watching. And like I said, we got a couple of other people that are monitors that are kind of watching the page. But anything that does Sturgis, we put Wyatt's Lemonade can be on there. He's legitimate. And so
lightning and tornado was east of here. Could see the lightning out towards the butte. So it must have been on that side.
So hopefully we'll hear from the chip and we'll find out if they had any damage. Maybe it all kind of, that's why I said you could be on the other side of Butte Mountain and never see it. And just poor Michael Ballard was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I know.
At least he was there where he wasn't back at his place in Tennessee and had a heart attack.
Call, yeah.
Could you imagine? The place is blowing away. So at least he was inside. He did a live from there, and I put that up right away. And then somebody today put up some pictures on both of our regular Bob and Tam's Facebook page and also on our group page. They put them on. So things like that, we don't mind putting that up on this new page. We also got a couple surveys going on right now. We're wanting to know.
So Ryder X wants to know is a good time now.
Is it quarter after yet? I told him to come on in 15 minutes. You're not just going to magically pop on. You're going to pop in at the bottom, and we have to put you on. So
you're going to show up in the green room.
Yeah, you won't. You can come on at any time.
Where'd you go?
And we'll tell you when you're ready to come on. And
that was Marcus. He said they withstood last year's wind 68 miles an hour. Not sure if we could complete with if it just hit. So that's Marcus with So last year they had 68 miles per hour. Hey, Jimmy.
And see, storms kind of come blow through and don't, and it's like it just depends. We were in Rapid City and we had a pretty good storm, but we were up against the building where we stay in Rapid City, and we were fine. Yeah. But I mean, you could feel the trailer rocking a little bit. But I mean, we've had storms out here. One of our friends was out at Lake Havasu, and they had a monsoon come through, and she swore her trailer came up off the ground while she was in it. So it can happen anywhere.
There's a lot of hot cars out there now. The Mustang Meet and the Deadwood events. Yeah, the Hot Summer Nights is this week, I think. That's kind of cool. We were out there. Was it last year or the year before?
It was last year. I think we were back in Rapid City, and we just didn't want to. I think it was.
We didn't want to drive the truck out. We wanted, if we went to take the motorcycle because we figured there was no place to park.
But I think it was a really hot day, and I just didn't want to drive all the way from there to get there. And then we'd have to drive back in the dark too.
Mike says he's got a really bad picture, but it's his fault. He's got a face for radio. You don't.
He's already been on this page here.
I know. You can take that part of South Dakota, which is not part Good old USA. I know. And it's like that. The Midwest. They're probably right there in part of Tornado Alley. There's Terry in State 100. He's on. He's probably still trying to get your Indian poster. He's the one from.
Oh, I gotta go get that. I'm gonna go get that and see what it looks like.
Where's it at?
It's out there on the golf cart.
Oh.
Well, I put a couple signs up. I put my clockwork sign
I
up.
see. There's the
And I got
clockwork
Dakota
sign we
Gauge
got.
as my banner.
And there's the Dakota Pages band. Go to that. Dakota Digital banner that they gave us. So there's the garage doors open. We're in the living room tonight. So it was kind of too warm. There she is. Happy Sunday. Enjoying your live shows. Thank you, Lone Wolves on Wheels. Deadwood was a good TV show. Yep, that was kind of cool. And there's Danny. Danny's on. So hard, $27.99, I think. Hi to Bob and Dee. Say hi to Dee for me.
Oh, it's a pretty big banner. So I have not seen this banner yet. We got this from the Indian dealer, but what she said was, oh, it's a 75th banner. And she was down there with her.
That's upside down.
I know, but I'm gonna. Not too bad.
Can
So it's gonna hang this way. Whoops. Oh, it's double-sided.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. So it says the
70.
75 days, the celebration.
38 to 15, 75th.
Sturgis motorcycle, 75 years of the rally, and then it's got the Indian logo at the bottom. Pretty slick. And it's all about who you know. And so we want to thank the Indian dealer. We won't give her name.
Why?
People might call her and say, we want one of those banners. That's the one she had.
Runs on.
So
I know. She had, if you want one that's like.
Well, I don't know if she would just give it to anybody. But we asked, and
we miss you too.
We got a bunch of other banners that we've got that we got to go pick up. We got to call another business. So what we're doing is getting a bunch of banners and stuff of people that we've done business with. I've never done business with Indian, but we talk to her all the time. And so might own Indian someday.
Harley One Forever is going to go to Hog Rock in October. I hear that's pretty wild and crazy. That's one in Illinois. Looks like Little Sturgis. Hey, June. How you doing? June and Dean. They're from Canada. There's Deb and Mike. They're on again. We met another Deb and Mike, and they said, we just want to let you know when you guys do your lives, and you always say hi to Deb and Mike. We're the original Deb and Mike. And I said, They said they're older, but I don't know. I said, they're the first ones I saw. And we met. So they said they met us last year in Sturgis too, but so when we say Deb and Mike, I know who this Deb and Mike is.
All right, so we've got some of our subscribers. We're going to give them like a 3-minute speak here.
Terry says you're killing him because you just showed him that video.
So I got to come over here. Hang on.
What are you doing?
I'm going to let them come up.
Oh, they're there?
Yeah, you can't see them in
I guess
in the green room. I got to put my glasses on because they're teeny weeny. Now you got to turn your
volume down.
Or
you'll get a real bad echo.
Yeah, you almost need, which I should have told you before.
Headphones.
You almost need headphones to hear because it's going to echo.
If you guys got any earphones.
So if it echoes, you may have to turn your volume all the way down and read lips. All right, so we'll see if it echoes with them.
Hey guys. Hello.
All right, so we'll see if it echoes with them. We may have to put the headphones in.
Oh, is it us?
This might be both of us.
I don't know. So he's going to go get us some headphones. So this is Rider X.
Hey guys.
Rider X, which is Joe, and then that's Jill, and that's Jerry, and all three of them are subscribers of ours. And when we did our meet and greet, Jill and Jerry called Rider X so he could be at our meet and greet, but the reception wasn't really well. But anyway, he got to be there a few minutes, and so they invited Rider X down to come spend the weekend, and they did a bunch of riding and stuff. So they're all together, so they wanted to come on and say hi to everybody.
We're best buds now.
Yes. Oh, there we go. But what was funny was Rider X called and said, you know these guys? How well do you know these guys? And then they called us and said, how well do you know Rider X? So joke on me. They called, Rider X called me and said, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm very uncomfortable and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell him. I said, well, just say his wife called and you got to go home. I don't know what to tell him. But I hope I was very diplomatic. I didn't.
You did very well. You did very well.
We got matching. We even got matching hats.
Oh, there you go. All righty. Well, where's Jill's?
I wasn't invited, I guess.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, let me
So you're
switch
gonna
this
turn ours off, or should I
around.
gotta go
I
on this
need to
side?
go to settings. Let me change.
Are you guys hearing us okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. I don't
Okay.
know if are we
Audio.
echoing you guys? Can anybody?
No, there's
No.
no echo at all.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll do it the earphones anyway.
I just want to put this out there. Jill, Gary said, anybody wants to come stay with them, just show up. They live at 4829 Glowing Star Road. Come anytime, day or night.
There you go. Oh,
And
is
if you
this
serve
plugged
you
in?
anything
Low
less
battery.
than steak every night,
no,
then
it's
they
not.
don't like you because I got steak the whole weekend.
You were sick?
No, I got steak the whole weekend.
Oh, steak.
If you show up
Oh.
for a weekend visit and they serve you anything less than steak, that means
Oh,
they
wow.
don't like you because I got steak the whole weekend.
Oh, there you go. So if we come and they don't serve us steak, that means they don't like us, huh?
Exactly.
I know. I was like, well, we'll have to see what we can do. They'd even said they'd babysit Charlie for us. If we came through Tennessee, we could drop him off along the way.
Yes, you can.
So we are not going to any of the fall rallies. So there's Miss Thackeray. I know Bob was asking, he says, we didn't get to see them this year, did we? And I said, no, not yet. Where's Dawn at? She's on there. She said, what'd she say? The crazy one is here. She didn't say Dawn's here. Where's she go? I don't see her now, but she is on here, or she was on earlier. I clicked on her and said to hi to Dawn. So if you guys want to say hi to Dawn, you can. We're
Hey,
staying at the Hard Rock. Hey, Six, how you doing? That's cool. Hard Rock is a cool place. They kind of did if you want to kind of see the back scenes of it, we did a video on that with Tater and I think it was Tater. Can't remember the other girl's name.
It's plugged in.
So we had to plug in the computer. It said the battery was too low. So counting down to Sturgis 23. All right, Bradley, that's cool. Dawn is here. Dawn is there somewhere in the delay. Okay, is it okay now? Are we not so delayed?
You guys are good on our end.
Yeah, so I'm asking
Well, see,
everybody.
you're seeing us live where they're not.
Let's see.
Okay.
You didn't ride through the Indian tribal land without permission, did you? They were going to shoot arrows at you. No, we were told that long.
Well, it wasn't so bad this year. It was last year during 2020. A lot of the Indians, Native Americans didn't want anybody on their property.
There she is. There's Dawn.
Yeah, so Dawn's in the house.
I can't do a Bob impression while Bob is here. So that when Bob's away, I'm filling Bob. So
Oh yes.
I can't fill in for Bob when he's actually here.
Yeah. Well, if he has to take a potty break, then you can.
Well, he's not gonna be on that long. We're not gonna.
So Sandy says hi, Ryder X and Jerry and Jill.
Hey guys.
Wrapping
So
lunch.
what we've
Oh,
mainly talked
we got
about
a new,
tonight is a couple of things.
a new
We just wanted to say
member.
hi. You don't want to hijack the live. We just wanted to jump on and say hi to everybody.
All righty. So
And so what we're mainly talking about is I was going to say all three of them came to Sturgis, but I'd be lying because one there didn't make it to Sturgis this year.
3 of these things look like
Look the same, but one is an oddball. That's a song if you have
That's
little kids.
from Sesame Street.
How's it go?
3 of these things. I'm not gonna sing it.
Come on, Tim.
One of them's different. You have to pick out which one's different. So,
Well, that would be Jill.
well, she is.
But it's
The
not.
boy.
Our channel is all about
Motorcycle
Sturgis.
rally.
Yeah, so we're talking about Sturgis tonight, and then we'll get to other rallies. So, yeah, so it's crazy, and we're also already starting to talk about. Like I said, we took the new Facebook
Did you get
page.
matching tats?
Not yet. We talked about
Matching what?
tats.
No.
Oh,
So running along the bottom is the new
matching what?
Sturgis page that we started about 4 months ago, right before Sturgis started. And one, because they wouldn't allow me anymore on to a couple of the Facebook pages. So we said, screw them, we'll start our own. Well, today we broke 30,000 subscribers on there. So we're actually doing really good. Mike's helping me on it. And actually, you're signed up too, but you haven't accepted the.
He's been busy. He's out on vacation.
Well, you still could accept and say, I'm willing
Did
to
you
do
accept
it.
it?
No.
I did accept
Yeah,
it.
he
Oh,
accepted.
he said he.
Well, I didn't see your name come up there yet.
See, Jerry knows.
Yeah, last night I did.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I didn't see it yet today.
No,
So yeah, so it's going really good. Mike's doing a really great
They
job.
said you fed him now, he'll never leave.
Yeah. Yeah, because wasn't he supposed to leave today? Because it was
Yeah.
Sunday. That's the end of his trip. He's got to go to work tomorrow.
I'm going home. They're going to work. So yeah, I'm heading back.
So no bad weather up there?
It's other than it being hot, it's been really nice.
What's the temperature there?
What was it in the 90s today?
Yeah, right now it's 85,
But it was like 90. Was it 94? earlier?
94, 95. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
High
kind of-
humidity?
very
Yes,
humid.
very humid.
That's what we said when we were in California coming home. I was like, man, it's 81 degrees, but it feels nice. It's like, this does not feel like 81 in the Midwest. Charlotte is home. He's happy, but he keeps thinking every time we leave, where are we going? Where are we going? It's like, you're not going today. He thinks every time we leave now he needs to go. But he got to go back to California and see the grandsons. That's his boys, and he was very happy with that. So we just got home today. So Ratfink's staying at Cracker Barrel. I can't say that.
Cackleberry.
There you go. That's where he's staying.
You have to tell us how
Charlie,
wild it gets. I don't know if it gets as
Are you
wild.
staying in the back part?
What's the only
There's
place you can
Sean.
stay with? You got an RV.
No, they've got parts in the front. We stayed with all them, or we interviewed those people. Remember those one people that were kind of,
Is Marcus still on? Is he got tents down there for
I'm sure he does. Marcus,
Oktoberfest?
are you going to have a camp easy there? Well, I think he likes to do the 10-day rallies. It's only a 4-day.
so
He may not do it in October.
Yeah.
So he's on Facebook.
And that's one of the reasons why we're not doing the rallies this winter, just for the fact
The
that
fall.
they're just not big enough. They're not long enough.
By the time we get some sort of momentum going, they're over. And then
with the price of gas, wait till I post the one we got of 2 gas stations we found in California. One was exceptionally crazy, and the other one was just normal crazy. And so we'll post that tomorrow on Facebook, and people can check that out and see what gasoline prices are over in California. So you can kind of, unless you're in New York, New York's prices are close to California, but the rest of the United States
about
isn't too
100
bad.
away to 20,000 subscribers.
Yep, we're almost there. So we've got a lot of excitement going on. One is the Facebook page just running along the bottom. That's the new group page we put up about 4 or 5 months ago. I said 3 or 4 a while ago, but I think it was 5. Now we're up to. Mainly what that's all about.
In May.
Yeah, we just changed the name on it this week to the 83rd and also 2023. We just broke 30,000 subscribers on there. We got people from all over the world on there. So it's kind of neat. And more of the people are getting on there now just to get good information. We actually invited them onto the feed today. So I don't know if any of you that are in the chat are watching now, or if you're from that group, which would be kind of neat. So it's just, we're trying to stop any of the spammers from coming on. We're not selling t-shirts or none of that other crap that's on there that seem to come on some of these other ones.
So do you want to tell anybody about your motorcycle issues with what the outcome was?
A short version.
The short version is, yes, I got it back. It's running very, very well now.
We had a modified Friday night.
Yeah, we did have to do some garage quick
Modifications.
maintenance on it because I had blisters on my leg from the heat coming off the D&D pipes. So I had to take the lowers off, which dropped the temperatures down by like 40 to 50 degrees, which worked wonders. But yeah, it's back. It's running great. No issues. It's been really good.
Does it perform like you thought it would?
It has some pickup for sure. Absolutely. It'll throw you back when you hit the throttle.
Does it, for jumping from, what'd you have, a 117 before?
17 to a 128 zippers kit.
So, which is relatively to be the equivalent to a 131 stock. So do you feel that big of a difference?
Absolutely.
Because it's like me, I had a 96 originally, went to a 98. When we got a 103, her bike, I could feel a big difference there. When I went to my 110, there was a difference there. But now the new bikes I ride, like the 117s and stuff, I feel no different from the 117s they're selling from my 110 that I have.
Yeah, I mean, I got new cylinders. I put in a new cam. I got a new exhaust, and all of that in combination makes it a lot more peppy than the 117. It's a big difference.
What was the torque? Did you get your printout?
Yeah, I got about 160 foot-pounds of torque and about right around 140, 142 horsepower.
That's pretty good. That's not too bad.
And I didn't, sometimes when you do those builds, you have to like upgrade your belt drive. There's so much. I didn't have to do a lot of that.
Which is one of the things we're going to talk about on my bike, which you may, I don't know if you've changed this or not, but you have to wait for that video to come out. and that you may want to do pretty quick because that's one of the problems they're having with when you
Upgrade.
Yeah, because the transmission can't take that power, especially if you get on it a lot. One of the things. Oh, do you mind telling people what this kit cost you? Do you have any idea what it? Not counting what the double charge was, but figuring what you paid for the cylinders.
I didn't even go there.
By not buying, you really didn't use Harley parts. You went out and bought parts. So, but basically, figure out what you paid for your parts, and then what the guy charged you to redo it. That would probably be what a normal place would charge to do a 128.
It cost me in part somewhere around, after everything, I did have to replace my clutch. So it cost me somewhere around like maybe $4,500 or so for the parts. And then it cost me about $2,300 in labor to do it the first time. And then the second time cost me about the same to get it rebuilt. So all in, it was right around maybe a little more than 7,000.
Okay. All right. So just gives people an idea if they're thinking about doing a 128 kit versus buying
Stock Harley.
Yeah, which I wouldn't do. I wouldn't buy. A lot of people do that. They buy the 131 stock engine. You got to remember all that stuff is within specifications of what Harley puts out, pollution levels and all that throughout the states and stuff. So you're not going to get the performance that you would get. Like that 131, you probably will outperform most 131 stocks.
That is true.
You buy a crate motor.
That is true. Yep.
And because it's just the stuff, Harley just can't put that kind of stuff in your bikes, and that's a whole nother story. And so
one thing I will say, just one quick piece of advice, is if you're going to consider a build like this, make sure you throw it on a dyno before you even ride it. Most dealerships will tell you put break-in miles in your bike between 500 and 1,000 miles. Do not do that. Get it right to a dyno, because that way if there's anything wrong, they'll see it right away because it's hooked up to temperature monitors. They can see what's going on with the AFRs. And a lot of these tunes that you get, even the ones you buy, because I bought one from Fuel Moto and I got a free one from DynoJet, and they were both, one was way too rich and one was way too lean. And it's just not a good idea to not get it on a dyno right away. So just tell your mechanic to heat cycle it, don't test ride it, and just get it right to a dyno.
Sounds good. Good advice.
Which is kind of what Speeds does, which is who we recommend all the time. He does the Rallies, and they also got a shop in Rapid. They've actually got a setup on their trucks that actually has a cooling system built in to keep the bikes. They don't have to shut them down and let them keep cooling down, because it will cool as it's being. They designed whatever they did after, I guess, 28 years of doing this. They figured out how they could do it, and because that's what I was saying. You really don't just like in his case. Rider X took it out and rode it and then started using oil. Well, then it's what he said. Well, is it smoking? Is it leaking? By the time they, and the dealer's like, I don't know, keep driving it. You let it break in. Well, it ends up being that it got screwed up when they assembled it. And if he would have kept driving it, he might have destroyed a lot of engine.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's all true. And just be prepared if you have lowers on your bike and you're putting on a performance build like that. I can tell you, I could show you, I don't want to gross everyone out, but I could show you the blister on my leg from the heat blisters. It's pretty bad. You will have to remove your lowers in the summer.
Goodness. Yeah.
Especially with the D&D Billicat exhaust, which is arguably the best performing pipe for an M8. But because of the way it's designed and how close your leg is to the pipe, the heat coming off is super, super hot. So if you do that, you will probably have to remove your lowers.
Did you feel that on when you were riding or just when you came to stops?
Oh, no, I felt it when I was riding.
Okay.
So I stopped in Johnson City, which was about maybe 6 hours a ride. And I felt like my leg was a little bit irritated, but I figured I was just, it was going to be a little red. But when I got into the hotel and I checked my leg, there were like heat blisters forming. And in the last couple of days, they've gotten a lot worse. So I called my mechanic and he said, you have to take off your lowers. And I took off my lowers and went for a ride, and didn't feel anything.
Night and day, huh?
Whatever.
So for those people that may not know what you're talking about, explain what a lower is.
It's the leg. They're like leg guards attached to your engine guard to protect your legs from wind and rain and stuff like that. So mine have speakers in them. So I did have to lose my 2 speakers in my 2 lowers. But again, it's worth it because I like the performance and I'm not getting burned now.
Yeah.
Which is important.
That's always a plus, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
It's
If you've seen what I've gone through the last couple of days,
It's disgusting.
I don't know.
You need those love jugs.
I said, I don't know if that would have even helped.
I don't
Yeah,
think that
but-
would have helped either.
I don't know. You well, your gauges. What is it? Is it telling you the temperature of the heads?
oh yeah, the temperature for the head was running around 370 degrees. And the oil temp was right around 180, which is actually perfect. But that doesn't take into account the heat coming off the pipes. The heat coming
I
off.
know, but I think, did you watch the one where we had the video that we had the other day on Dakota gauges?
Yes, I did. I saw that.
What temperature did he say to pull over at? It was 3 something. He said the head shouldn't get that hot. I don't remember exactly what it was. 3 something he said it was.
Yeah, I talked to the guy that owns zippers, and I talked to my mechanic, and they said if you get around 400 is when they really, according to them, I'm sure everybody has a varying opinion,
Yeah.
but he said according to them, if you start hitting 400, you need to pull over. But it never got that hot. But now I'm running with the lowers off. I'm running around 320, 330, which they both feel is perfect.
That's good. No more burnt light going home, huh? Or not any worse.
And yeah, not any worse, thank
No.
goodness, because I have a long ride home.
So how many miles did you ride to get there?
To get here, it's about 600. So going home is going to be about the same.
And so how much miles did you do with riding that you guys did riding on?
What, 250 maybe?
Yeah, it sounds about sounds about right.
So did you manage to do the Tail of the Dragon, or was it too crazy this weekend?
No, I think I didn't realize these guys were a little bit further from the tail than I
Oh.
realized. So we just did a lot of local rides, which were some
Okay.
amazing twisties. And we went up to
Oh,
what's it called? Point
Point Park.
Park, Which
Park
was-
Lookout Mountain.
which was
Oh.
amazing views. Overlooks Chattanooga, and they said you can see all the way to Kentucky or something
Yes.
from there.
oh,
And it had one of those incline trains, the ones that go up
Yeah.
yeah.
straight up the mountain, which was kind of cool. So we've had some great rides.
We had an awesome time.
We did.
That's good. Well, I'm glad.
If you want to stop by anytime, I'll give you their address again in the comments. Just like, come by whenever you want.
Yeah.
They'll have
So
steaks.
we'll put them on a bed and bunk, or what is that called? Bunker's bed, or
Yeah, Biker's Bunk or something. Is
Yeah.
that what it's
I've
called?
never heard of that.
yeah, it's a place where it's a website or it's a group. I think it's a Facebook group that people can say, like, if you're traveling on your bike and you need a place to stay, you can look on this group and find people that will let you sleep in the garage, or they'll let you, they got an extra room for you to sleep in. Like I just read one today, a guy was pouring down rain where we was at, and the guy said, yeah, come on over, put him in his garage. They fed him and everything else. And the guy said he had a great time, and
I think that's what's called Biker's Bunk.
yeah, I guess what it's called.
Check it out.
Biker's Bunk.
Because on my way home, I'm going to be stopping and staying somewhere. So if anybody wants to put me up, and they have steaks that they can cook on the grill.
What route are you taking?
I'm
But
gonna be
Rider X,
all the way up 81 to all the way into Virginia. So yeah,
but
if you have
Rider X will
steaks in
need
your room, let me know.
But you need a police report on them, don't you? To make sure that they don't have any felonies or nothing, any sexual things or anything weird going on. So that way you feel safe.
Ralph says you can't do wheelies in second gear. That's what's causing it.
Oh yeah,
Ask
unfortunately.
him if he can't do a wheelie in second gear power. I don't know. What does that say? Ask him if he can't do a second gear power wheelie.
So have you pulled the wheel off the front yet, off the ground?
I've come close, and it scared the hell out of me, so I didn't. But if I dump the clutch and I hit the throttle, man, it's scary.
Takes off.
Yeah, I feel like it would almost throw me off. So I'm not.
Probably. You're
still-
probably laying on the ground and the bike will be up there.
What's
You
that?
don't want to do that again. He said the bike would be taken off and you'd be down on the ground.
Exactly. Be like, oh, there goes another $5-7 grand, whatever's going
John
to be.
wants to know how close you guys are to Nashville, Fender Kitten.
We're about 2 hours, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah, about 2 hours from Nashville.
You might have some more company. No.
If you got steaks in a room, I'm there, Fender Kitten. I'm just saying.
That's going towards
No.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Well,
there.
now she's in Colorado. I think Fender Kitten wants to come out to Nashville. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Don't well, there you go.
mistake.
Then next
Bed
guy.
Bath & Beyond.
There you go.
Mark W says, "Don't make the mistake and go to Bed Bath & Beyond. They won't let you do that there."
I'll just hide in the bathroom until they close and crash.
Don't get a clicker though. Remember that. Notify the animal shelters along the way. X might even get
Wow.
posted.
See, this is what happened last time. People started to turn on me. I don't know what the deal is, but
Get a Ducati and a fifth wheel power wheelie. A Ducati. I had a friend that had a Ducati. She rode that thing all over the place. And her husband was the daredevil. She was kind of crazy too. All right. So you want to let these guys go so they can do their thing and eat their steaks?
so we can get even closer.
You guys keep getting squished together.
All right.
But
So
you have,
goodbye.
All righty. I guess
yeah,
say goodbye.
You're good yesterday.
Oh, everything worked out good. I'm glad I did a good job because I was like, I don't know what to say. And they both seem like very nice people to me. And
Well,
Ryder,
I told her before she got off the phone, I was already thinking it was probably going to be a setup because it's like, where are they at? And if he's on the phone, he's still there. I
he
thought
said they went to the grocery store. He says they went to go get dinner.
I wouldn't have bought any of
They
that.
were showing all kinds
She's
of.
very naive.
I was buying it hook, line, and sinker. I was
She's
trying to
good at
get
that.
you out
You
there.
gave me good advice. You're like, I don't know. Tell him Angie said you got to go home.
Well, you're lucky she didn't call home and tell her that you better come pick him up in the
You
truck
better
or something.
I don't have Angie's number. I've only got his number.
Mm.
But anyway,
All right.
thanks all you guys. I'm glad you guys had a great weekend. Take care. Have a safe trip
Thanks
home.
for having us on.
All righty. Bye. And I guess we can take our
Kick
earthings out
from
now. Huh?
studio. Kick guest out.
Don't
All right. Well,
ban
we don't
them.
need it because
You
we didn't.
banned them
Nobody's
last
talking to
time.
him. Yeah, I know.
But
I
now-
did the right one.
Okay.
All right, so that was very interesting. We normally don't do that because I don't want everybody to think hey, you guys can come on and so
But we have special subscribers. All of our subscribers
right.
are special.
so we try to do it. If we're doing a
Have
live,
fun.
where if we are someplace doing a live, you're always welcome to come on the live and stuff like that. So which we do.
There
We
you
have a
go.
lot of you that have done that. Neil was just commenting the other day that he really appreciated it. He really liked it that we were down. Which Neil's not on tonight, is he?
I haven't seen him
He
yet.
said he was
No.
going to be on.
I don't know. I haven't seen
So
him.
from Alaska, and he was saying that he really liked it. That I was asking him a few questions. Somebody was asking something, and I turned the camera to him and showed everybody him, and he got to answer the question. He really liked that. So
So he came on our live one last year and told us, I think, a little bit about that Sequoia Station. So that's any place.
So we have two things on the one that's running along the bottom right now. If you go to that Facebook group, you ask to be signed up, and we pretty much approve 99% of the people. The only people we're not, well, you're all people that are watching our channel, so I can tell you that. The only people we're not, if we go on your channel, go on your Facebook, so we have a right by going on there, I can see your Facebook page. So if I look at it and there has nothing to do with motorcycles, and I don't see any pictures in your friends list that have motorcycles, we're probably not going to approve you. If I see somebody on there that, like one guy said he worked at a motorcycle shop, well, yeah, we approved him. But we want something to prove. We want you to bring something to the channel. We just don't want you to sit in the background and just watch what people are asking.
Well, people are trying to get to Sturgis.
No, if you're thinking about coming to Sturgis, but I mean, if you don't even own a motorcycle, don't come to Sturgis during the rally. We don't need you. We got enough motorcycles, enough people. We don't need no bicycles. You got a motorcycle, doesn't matter what kind of motorcycle, got a trike. All that's more than welcomed in Sturgis. And in the campgrounds, I got all kinds of things. People riding golf carts and scooters and bicycles. And I really didn't see any bicycles, but there might have been some out there running around.
There was a lot of e-bikes we saw, remember?
Oh, we seen that more in Florida or in California.
And there was a lot.
Everybody and
Even
their brother.
like the high school kids, it's like, oh my gosh. But I know regular bicycles are a couple $1,000s now. So an e-bike's only another 1,000 more. So Patty Smith Montgomery gave us the heart and the motorcycle.
So it's going pretty good on that channel. And so what I got going on right now is 2 surveys are going on. We're asking those that are thinking about coming to Sturgis in 2023, where are you thinking about staying at? So that's the first thing we're doing. And the second thing we're asking for is with the Buffalo chip, who would you like to see for a band? Now, the only bad news is quite a few people that asked for bands that are actually just played in Sturgis. They're not going to come back. The Buffalo chip is really, they'll do house bands, but they won't do headliners that they did the year before. Just like why they didn't have Kid Rock. Kid Rock could come next year, but they won't be here this year. So like somebody was at Shine Down, and a couple of the other bands that were already out in Sturgis this year. Buck Cherry, they're, even though if they weren't at the chip, they were at the Full Throttle. Tesla, they're not going to bring, the odds are, now Full Throttle might do something, we know, but Rod said he doesn't like to bring the same bands back same year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Like year after year.
So there's a few that we want to recommend to him, and we want to see what you guys all recommend that are thinking about going to 2023. So go to that list, put your name in there. Well, your name comes up anyway, and put down what bands you want. We have some people that listed a dozen bands, and I'll just go through some of the lists that I've seen, which I like. With her favorite is she wants to see George Thorogood again. He does a great job in person. Some of these bands that I look at, they're really headbanging and almost mosh pit bands. Like somebody wanted to have Korn there. We're not big Korn fans, but I guess we're getting a younger crowd starting to come in.
Well, we complain. We want the younger people to start coming out.
So that might be why some of these
for.
other bands that are kind of like in the early 2000s, I think that's what Showdown, I think it's what it is, Showdown. I listened to some of their songs today. It wasn't too bad, but I mean, I don't know any of them. But I guess they started in 2001, went to about 2015, and that was kind of the end of their record debut. But I mean, I'm not saying it's a good band or a bad band, but you want a variety of stuff.
See, so you really have to have a motorcycle? That's what Dawn says. I can't get on?
Well, you can get on somebody else's motorcycle.
No, but I mean, you said you're not welcome if you don't have a motorcycle.
Well, the idea is Sturgis is probably one of the only rallies, if you drive a car, like let's say, Dawn, you're going to drive a car. You're coming from California, you're going to drive your car over there. You're going to park anywhere from 5+ bikes away from
Blocks.
Downtown Main Street. They don't allow any cars anywhere near Main Street. And to try to park where the bikes do, well, first of all, you can't even drive your car down some of these streets because they're only motorcycles only.
Main Street.
Well, Main Street and the little side streets that caught up if you can't go down. Unless you're an crazy old white guy that drove through, which I think we got that on live. I'm going to have to get that and put that on. Dawn will find that. She's good at finding that online.
Yep.
The last live we did, and we were at One Eye Jack's, and this old guy with a little bitty car drives down the street, and the cops are yelling and chasing him. And
like, I don't even know how, because there's usually cops at the very entrance. So I don't know if the cop went to the bathroom. I don't know how the car got down.
It must have been on Saturday.
And I don't know how he didn't hit a bike.
Yeah.
And then they told him to turn down the other road, there were bikes all over.
So that's the only bad thing. And then also, like if you go to the Full Throttle, same thing. You've got to park way up front by the gasoline pumps. And that's if you wanted to go down to the concert, you're probably going to walk a mile or two to get to the concert. So that's the bad thing about cars. And then at the Full Throttle, I don't even know where you would park a car at.
Yeah,
because it lines in with bikes all in the front. And yeah, I have no idea. You'd have to probably almost park somewhere into the campground. And if you don't have a camping thing, you're not going to get in. So that's the problem with having a car. Now you could get away with, there's some people that bring the Can-Ams and the Spiders and all that kind of stuff, and they can squeeze into a spot. But some of these on like Main Street, I don't think they were allowing the Spiders and stuff to go down the street this year. Last year they had the ATVs and stuff were coming down. They chased a couple kids that had mini bikes. They chased them off. I put it on one of the last videos. You could see that. 3-wheelers they always allow. Trikes and stuff are always been allowed. So if you want to get around, now if you want to go to Mount Rushmore or you want to go see Crazy Horse, yes, there's tons of cars there because
it's the tourist.
Yes. Black Hills is a very, very big tourist area. A lot. Not as crazy as like Disneyland or Disney World, but there's a lot of people with cars there.
It's only one BG left.
But a lot of times when you start getting to, it's just like we do. Once the rally starts, we never take the truck out unless we're going to go to Walmart or something like that if we're going to buy a lot of groceries.
Dawn says she don't drive. That's for everybody's safety.
Yeah. So in her case, she was going to come out and ride on somebody else's bike. And, that's great. I rent you a bike. Art's kind of figuring out. He can't figure out. Anybody coming from California, Southern California, during the rally, let us know because Art's thinking about riding now, but he really doesn't want to ride by himself. Now, I know Mike's in Phoenix, so I said something. I'm going to have Mike call Art and talk to him. And
I said they could maybe meet in Vegas.
I don't know which way Mike goes up.
I would think
he might go up through Colorado. Is he still on? Mike's probably still on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which way do you go from Phoenix? Do you go through Colorado or do you go back through Utah? Because he's halfway through Arizona already, so you just go up. So I don't know. So that's why I was assuming Art would have to drive all the way into Phoenix.
Crap on a Cracker says there's a field behind Full Throttle where cars can park between Full Throttle and Peppy Hoyle.
Okay. So there is some places that you can park a car. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not totally impossible, but if this is the biggest rally that I've ever seen, like in Daytona, you can park 1 block away from Main Street and have your car because they got all these parking garages. So you can pay to go in there and park your car, and because they got the beach open. So no problem in Daytona. Also, there's a lot of cars. Like if you go down to Cackleberry or go down to what's the one next door? Cackleberry and the Slough. Cabbage Patch. There's a parking lot that's about a half a mile up on the left that you can park in, that they allow cars to park in. They charge, of course. So there is places when you get to that, you can find places to park. Panama City. Now, Panama City is a little different. It's a little hard to find car parking in Panama City. That would be one I would recommend. Galveston, be tough to find parking in Galveston. You're going to do some walking in Galveston too.
Are you going?
Because there's a lot of downtown Galveston doesn't allow parking in the subdivisions. You got to have a permit to park there for residents. And in the main streets where the businesses are at, they got it all closed off and it's only bikes only.
Galveston?
What?
I don't know. You said in Galveston.
Galveston. I said it's very hard in Galveston for car parking because in the streets when it's not blocked off for motorcycles, which is the main streets, the other streets are subdivisions, and they had signs up that you had to be a resident.
Oh, you had to have a special.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Because I said you had a handicap on the vehicle, so we can get away with that because I can't tow a handicap car in those areas. But when she's gimping on me, and
so Dave's Crazy Trailers says he's going to Hog Rock, I guess.
And this year, because of the garage and stuff, we still got our big sponsors that they did send us an email and they want us to write them a bunch of stuff down. So she's going to do that tomorrow. Started her little letter to one of these big companies. And if they sponsor us, we may be going out next year, or even this year we might do it. We're still waiting for the Buffalo Chip to make their decisions what they want to do. The Buffalo Chip, mainly what we wanted to do more than anything else was we wanted to be on their property for the rally. Friday to Saturday, we would not leave the property. Now we might go someplace and eat, but all the events we would cover there. We would cover their rides that they do and all that. Because I've done all the other stuff. We've done Topless Tuesday, and we got a lot of video. I just picked up a big hard drive of if you're not on our Patreon page at the $25 level, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. He got pictures and video at the same time, and a lot of stuff. Plus the stuff I haven't even finished what I filmed, which was pre-stuff. So those are already coming up. We've had 2 videos come up. I've been putting them out on Saturday, and we'll probably put another one here. I don't know if I'll get one done tomorrow or not, but we'll try.
Larry said Bullhead River Run will not be the same week as Panama City this year.
There you go.
That's good.
So, which would be great because that's the truck.
We have to get together.
Yeah,
and we're back home now. So
we've got a vendor that's putting a new truck on, and he's one I wanted you. That's why I was hoping to catch up with you because I wanted you to introduce him to him. And they may send a little truck out there, which is about half the size of it. Well, they bring out a truck and a trailer for the rally. Well, they're going to bring out just a truck with a trailer on the back, a big trailer. But it's not going to have as much stuff and not as many guys, which would be great for Bullhead. And I talked to him a little bit about it, but it'd been neat to introduce you to him. And so that's pretty neat. So yes.
Cracker said Sturgis does have bicycle-powered rickshaws. They were driving around.
Who?
Crap on a Cracker.
Where?
In Sturgis. You know how they had those bicycles, those rickshaws, that bicycle-powered rickshaws? Those guys riding around on the bicycles, and you could ride in the back.
Oh, okay.
With the lights on them.
Like in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Those little trikes.
They're called rickshaws.
I had no idea what they're called. I had no idea. We rode them in, I think in New Orleans we rode in one.
I think so.
Got tired of walking.
They're
like a taxi.
Larry says he's glad he knows we're home. We're all home. So that's good. Yeah, I'll have to text you and
so we're home
see
now.
when we're gonna get together.
We're home now till
We'll have to show you the
September 8th or 9th. We're leaving. We're going up to Washington State.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We'll be gone for a little more than a week.
And then we should be home for a while.
Yeah. And well, not for a while. And because we'll see what else happens. Well, we may be going October. We may be flying up to Sturgis. We've got something we've been invited to. Got to get some more information on that, which you can't get that on Mondays, but we get it on Tuesday. And then we got a couple more calls to make and see what we're lining up for October. So we may be going up to Sturgis, which we're thinking about flying up and meeting with these people, getting some videos, getting some content. And because that's what we want. We're heading towards 2 things. One, showing you nothing but Sturgis stuff. and being your eyes and ears and knowledge of what's going on in Sturgis all the way up to the rally. What happens is the Buffalo Chip, the city, and the dealership is all planning ahead for the rally. They're already going to start here in October to start planning for next year. So what we want is inside information from them to let you know, hey, here's what we're looking at. Here's what they're thinking about. Here's what, to where we get a little feedback and then you guys can give, I'm not saying any of them will listen to anything that we say, but it's neat to have, and I think it gets people excited. The Buffalo Chip, he didn't want to put out the asphalt that was done. And some people said it was still dusty there. It was dusty everywhere this year. It had rain.
It didn't rain.
We were out at Pappy Hoyle on Saturday, and we thought there was a tornado. It was a dust bowl running right through the campground, right towards us, and luckily it went out the exit ramp. We were coming in, and I slowed down, and I'm like, okay, which way's it going? Which way's it going? And and then the Amsoil guy that was there said he almost lost everything he had the night before with the dust bowl that came through.
And 2 years ago, I think he did lose. He lost like his tent.
So I'm not blaming Pappy Hoyle. Every place is dusty.
Yeah.
Everything was dead. The grass was dead unless you stayed in Rapid City. They got a lot of rain. When we left from Rapid City the week before the rally, 2 weeks before the rally, it was green out there. Sturgis hadn't got any rain. I'm going to say over 2 months, but somebody's going to come back and say 39 days it rained. So I don't know.
It had been a long time because
Yes.
even when we got to Kathmandu, when we got there, the grass was like crunch.
And that's what he said. Mike said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that it's so." No, it's not your fault. You can't afford to water the whole thing.
No,
But we understand that, and people should understand that. But it's like we said
well,
last
that's
year.
I said you can have dust or you can have mud. It's your choice. I would rather have dust.
And they said, "Oh, well, Glencoe's got all theirs asphalted." No, they don't. They got most of it. They're like the Buffalo Chip. They got most of it. But if you're driving back into there, and you made a little road to go back into the back by the creek or something, that the grass dies, and then you got dust. Everybody has dust out there. I don't care where you're staying at. Maybe the only exception to the rule, which I don't even think that would be Elk Grove out in Spearfish, which is the Cadillac of parks. It's like $1,000 a day to stay out there on concrete pads.
Nice
But I
cool
imagine on the other side of that, which I think is a farm field or prairie land there, that if the wind blows, it's probably going to blow dust into there too. So normally people we have, it was a couple that was there. I don't know if they came this year.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It was like RV couple or RV lifestyle couple, something like that.
So I don't know if they came this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they're not mad we didn't get to meet up with them. There was a lot of people we don't get to meet up with, and I'm sorry we tried, but it's
we were going
hard.
to go this year. We were going to go back and try to get there because we wanted to kind of check out that Elk Grove, and we talked to them on the phone and stuff, but it's better when you have somebody that's staying there because then they can kind of show us what they know and see. And we do have a bunch of campground videos that we did while we were in Sturgis that we're going to be showing here December, January, depending on what it is. A lot of campgrounds aren't booking yet. Like one of the ones, who did we talk to the other day and said they don't book till November? I don't know. I don't know who it was. Somebody I talked to said they don't. Oh, it's somebody that has, it's Days End. They do not start booking for 2023 till November. So a lot of them don't. No, normally the Buffalo Chip is sometime in September. Most people say towards the end. Just all we know is sometime in September.
I think Chris's campground, they don't book till November.
Yeah. So a lot of them are looking.
She wants a little bit of a break before she starts dealing with all that stuff. So no, we didn't get to interview Christy Nome, but we did get a few words from her. That's about all we got.
And this year was bad because we didn't stay for the full Legends ride because we had a
meet and greet.
That's right. So we had to go
same
to that.
day.
Yep. So we didn't get to meet her at the campground. Where if we would have been there at the campground, we would have probably got to talk to her.
Were nice and green. So I wonder where
next year, if all goes well, our bike should be in with the celebrities because we're special.
I don't think so.
I bet you I'll get my bike in there. If we get a bike in there, then we're inside the little fence and we can talk to her. So
we're not going to be up there in that part.
I bet you I will.
Mm-mm.
You want to put money on it?
Mm-hmm.
How much? You want to lose? I talked to Rod.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
We might become big celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
We may be doing more with Buffalo Chip than you people know.
So where is Hill City Campground? They said it was nice and pretty and green this year. So it must have been that. How much did it cost to stay there? Or it might have been over in, what's it? Rapid City was a lot greener than Sturgis.
Yeah, and it depends on where you're at. We've seen green out there, you're out there, but I mean, a lot of the creeks and stuff, like when you rode along, what was the one road we rode along? There was hardly no water in the
I think Von Acker.
yeah, Von Nucker Road had hardly no water in theirs. And then Spearfish had a little bit more water in theirs.
Not as much as we've seen before, years past.
Because you could almost go down there swimming in that thing. And
it was hot enough to get in. Boy, I'll tell you what, celebrities, now you're getting a big head. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I want to get up front so we can talk to all those people and get them on camera. So she was at the press conference and we didn't know nothing about once again, that's what's wrong with Sturgis, which is why we're trying to do something with the buffalo chip, because there's so much unorganized in all of what goes on, and all these rallies are like this. Nobody knows what the other guy's doing. Even somebody that's running the city has no idea what the other guy's doing in the city. And that's what happened with us in the city. They screwed us this year. We didn't really cover nothing on theirs. No big deal. If they want to do something different this year, they've already invited us back to talk to them again. So, it might change for next year. We'll see how it all goes. But once again, somebody in the city made an agreement with somebody without telling anybody else that was involved with the city. Even the business agent, I don't think even the mayor knew what was going on. What? Good question?
No, they just said, so we'll be able to say, we knew you when.
No, we'll still you'll always be able to approach us. We will never get too big of heads. No. And so the idea is we just want to give you guys the best information. And where we get that all the time, which we didn't, this year was a little messed up for us because we did the Legends ride and we did a meet and greet, which we do a meet and greet next year. It's going to, maybe at the Buffalo Chip. He wants us to do one there. And if we do one there, it might not be quite so bad because we could end up doing it with something going on. And you may not need to have passes. So we'll have to see what he says about all this. There's other people besides the owner that we're dealing with at the Buffalo Chip. So we're going to try to get a hold of him tomorrow. She's going to send an email to him, and then we're going to try to talk to him by himself and try to iron some of this stuff out because, we're already in the end of August here. September is going to be rolling in here in just a couple of days.
The middle of September is when they start booking stuff.
So if we want to do something with you guys, they need to decide what they want to do, or we may be looking at one of the other offers that wants to do something with us. So we'll have to see. So we really need to get something ironed out here in the next couple of days
this week,
to let you guys know, because if it ends up doing something, it's going to be, if you want to go to the Buffalo Chip with us and stay in an area that we're going to be at, and this may only be a one-time deal. They're actually asking maybe a 5 or 10 year deal. I don't know if I want to commit to having all of you in the same area with us for 5 to 10 years. Not that that's an issue, that you may just never see us there. I don't want you to pay all that money to get there and find out we're never there because we're always out filming other events.
So anybody that was at Kathmandu, they can vouch how often we're there. Not very often.
Yeah. And no, they caught us at different times. People catching us in and out, but we didn't.
Going to take a shower.
We're going to go film. We're there to document what's going on and get you guys good information. So we work the whole time. So we're thinking this time, what we're thinking about with the Buffalo Chip is we're going to have different times we're going to do stuff. Like, hey, maybe tonight we'll be up at the Big Engine Bar and we'll hang out. That way people that are in Sturgis can come with us. We'll sit there and listen to the band. Maybe we'll get there early. Maybe we'll get one of the restaurants down in where the concert is and get that reserved for us for the whole event. Maybe we'll get some
one
things,
night and have dinner
and have some things like that to where we can.
They've got some stuff going on at that top shelf, which is their VIP area, and maybe because beforehand they're letting people up. They did this year, and they had like some games and drinks and different things going on. Maybe one night we could go up there and do that. So we just thought of a few different things. Yeah,
so we're looking to see, but they were actually, it's a COO. He wanted to know what he's always about is what's in it for them.
Yeah.
And they're already selling out, so they're not looking to why. And so once again, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do next year. I know what we're going to do this year is what I'm thinking about, and what we're planning is do a Buffalo Chip because Rod said he'll give us the full access that we need and able to get all the stuff we have. We can definitely get a spot for ourselves. He said there shouldn't be a problem getting our people in there if they want to stay with us. But there would be a deadline because I don't want that. I don't want to where they're going to hold all these spots for us till June of 2023. No, I think if you're going to go to Sturgis, which I tell everybody, which I'm hoping this is what he'll do, he'll give us these spots. You have to book it by January 1st. That's my recommendation to him. Now, he may say less time, may say a little more time. I don't know. But give us that time in that section. And there's about, I don't know, 40 trailers could be in there. I don't know. I didn't count the spots up. I don't know how many of you want to do that. You can rent trailers. You don't have to rent a trailer at this point. You just have to buy your pass and say, I
The
want,
area you want.
and pay for the deposit for the camping site. If you're going to do a tent, it's not a big deal. You can get the wristband. We're going to try to talk to him about something else that Mike brought up today. We'll see if he wants to do that. What we want to show him is on this new group page running across the bottom here. We want to see if that's got any power or not. So we're going to talk to Buffalo Chip about something that might be a 1-day option, 2-day option, a week option, that you could get something from the Buffalo Chip that nobody else offers, but it might only be a day, but you'd have to click on this link to get that special. So it's something that you need to listen to and keep track of what we're saying. Get on this page, make sure you subscribe to it, and keep taking a look at it, because some of this stuff might be coming up. And also, just like Marcus is on here, he's got
Camp Easy Ride.
Camp Easy Ride. Maybe he might want to do something on here too, to where what we're trying to do is look at this group, which has got 30,000 people in it. And if we can make this the ultimate knowledge of what Sturgis needs, what you need to know, if by people getting on here telling you what they like, what they didn't like, and it's tough. We do all this because when we went to Sturgis the very first time,
We didn't know anything.
we knew nothing but watching the Full Throttle TV show. Some of
And
you
that's
might be
pretty
too
much all
young
we
and
went.
have no idea what that was. It's about, I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago when that came on. We went the next year after that, after the first season. I'm like, I got to go to Sturgis. And we rode the old bike and went all the way up there by ourselves, and we had no idea
Broken
what we
foot
were
and
doing.
all.
Had crutches tied to the side of the bike, no YouTube. We went there and had no idea what we were doing. We hung out at the Full Throttle at the old one. And pretty much most of the time we did that. We ended up meeting a young lady that was staying next to us at Kathmandu in one of the cabins. And she wanted to go for some rides with us. We seen Mount Rushmore and some of the other things we did with her. And we did some rides on our own. But I mean, we had no idea about the waterfalls. We had no idea. I always thought Needles Highway and Iron Mountain was the same road. I probably did that for 5 years before I figured out there was 2 different roads. I don't know when those stupid maps came out. I didn't really have those maps. And when we went out there. So it's like, which all the rallies are like this. It doesn't matter if you're going to Daytona, you're going to Galveston, you're going to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. There's always events going on. These places do not link themselves together.
Somebody wanted to know if you were going to do a video on the Ham and Jam ride we took. I think it
Yeah.
was Billy and
Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a video on that because we show a lot of the places that we went to. We went to
Stonehouse.
Yeah, went to Stonehouse, checked that all out. We went to
Hewlett.
before that, the little town.
Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin, we went there, checked that out. Got some video there. So yes, I'm going to do a video on that. It just hasn't got that far yet. We got a bunch of, the videos keep going up and down, and
He's trying to figure out what's going to take off.
so like the video on my trailer sucked. I actually had I got another video coming out Tuesday on how to calibrate your Dakota gauges and how to use the app. And it's probably not going to do very good, maybe 1,000 views. And so I don't know. We may be still doing highlight videos for a few more days before but we have a lot of stuff. I probably got enough videos for at least the next 2 months, never skip a day. We have that much stuff.
He had like 12 videos he wanted to put out before Sturgis and never even got those out.
Yeah. So we got a lot of good information, a lot of good interviews, a lot of great stuff going on. Some stuff's probably going to get lost. I tried to inventory everything a little bit better this year than I did before. But just like the Playboy model, I forgot all about her. I wanted to put her on the last Friday night of Rallies so you guys could go meet her. And because I didn't want to put it out, we actually interviewed her like at the beginning of the week. But I didn't want to put it out because I didn't want any of the other YouTubers to find out that we found a Playboy model that was works the chip.
What you get for being selfish. So Emery, Ron wants to know if you can explain the whole swamp air conditioning thing for us East Coast guys.
Okay. What happens here is we have no humidity really. Normally, our humidity here is between less than 10%. On the average, it's 1 to 2%. So what a swamp cooler does is it's a giant, well, you see it a lot of rallies, a lot of events. They even have them down in Florida. They don't do quite the same thing in Florida that they do here. But what it does is you have this giant, looks like a radiator, but it's made out of paper or some form of paper. And you hook a garden hose up to it, and it sucks water through these fins, and the water runs down, and the air blows through it, and it puts moisture in the air. So here where it's really dry, that moisture is like having an ice cold air conditioner on you. That's what a swamp cooler does. Now, in some of these rallies, I've seen them in Florida, I've seen them in Sturgis that has high humidity. All it's doing is putting cold water on you. It's not giving you the same effect that we have without humidity. Now, it used to be out here in the Midwest or the desert, used to be they didn't have air conditioners because there was no humidity. An air conditioner, it works the opposite way. It's taking the humidity out, and that's why you have the condensation coming out of the air conditioner. Well, back in those days, the air conditioners could not cool your house because there was no humidity in them. So that everybody had swamp coolers. Well, nowadays, the world has changed, and this is not got to do with the last 5 years. It's like the last 20 years that we're starting to get humidity out here. Florida's got enough.
Evaporation cooler.
Las Vegas has it because they say it there because they got all those fountains.
Like a humidifier in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's a very high out. It's almost like an airplane fan if you get a big one. We got a small one out back on the patio. I'll have a big giant one in the garage. But what it basically does, if you turn it on early in the morning, you can pretty much cool the garage down to probably the mid 80s if it's 100 and something degree day. And it'll stay like that most of the day. By the time it gets to about 3 or 4 o'clock, it's going to start heating up. It can't keep up with it. But it's like here. People start working here we don't change our time. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun's up. So people here construction workers start at 5 o'clock in the morning, around 1 o'clock.
They're done.
2 o'clock, they're done for the day. And that's how we do it in the desert. And that might be one reason we don't change our clocks, because that gives us that extra hour. We're actually running on Pacific time right now. We're not running on Mountain. What? Do we use swamp? No, right now because we would be an hour later.
We don't change our time. That's when it's early at 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun comes up.
No, because right now we would be an hour later. We would have started at 6 o'clock tonight. So we started at 5 o'clock. So we're running on Pacific time. So when we get back to the winter, we go back to Mountain time. So we're not in Mountain time. We're in Mountain Arizona time, which is weird. It's hard to keep track.
Yes. Don't even try to figure it out.
Because Nevada is actually on Pacific time.
Yes.
Just not California. So we're right across the river from there to where it screws us up in the wintertime because they're actually they'll be an hour earlier than us come winter. So when we look at our clock, it's like here, it's hard you go over there for midnight and it's actually 1 o'clock in the morning when they have their midnight.
Yeah. So
you celebrate it here, then you go across the river and you celebrate it
again.
It's like people in New York get to see it 4 hours ahead of time.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that kind of tells you a little bit.
Evaporation cooler doesn't filter out the air pollution.
No. But it cools you off. And
Stephen
just need water and makes it work. And
I wanted to know if you're going to do a video of the nice sandwich man up in New Hampshire.
We didn't film him.
I know. You did a live. That's when everybody said you went nuts too.
That was a nut. If that's the way they are in New Hampshire, I don't want nothing to do with them people.
Well, most of the people in New Hampshire we met were perfectly fine.
I don't know if they were locals or I'm assuming they owned that shop for a long time. The lady was nuts too.
Yeah. She was very sarcastic, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah. Which it is. What you noticed about
an experience, an adventure.
We definitely noticed by going to California here. We went to Southern California into Orange County. And after traveling pretty much around the United States this year, we went all along the southern border, went along the eastern border, came across mostly the northern border there, top of Chicago and all that kind of stuff, went to Sturgis and then dropped back down. I thought Florida was bad. You California people down south have nothing on Florida, nothing at all. We went to a Costco the first day in Huntington Beach. people run their golf carts. Might as well been a golf cart. It's a shopping cart. Run them into you. They walk down the aisle. You're on the right-hand side. They're coming straight at you. You kind of lean over a little bit. Bam! They hit you in the arm, and it's like
being in a.
If you were in South Dakota, I would have popped you one. And but I mean, in the driving too, I thought Florida was really bad. You people in Florida have nothing on California drivers, nothing at all. Our daughter had the same thing happen to her this weekend. I'm driving down the highway, and I'm back a little bit. We're driving the truck, and here's this pickup truck, jumped across 4 lanes, and they're coming across, and they want to get on the exit ramp. He's now probably 100 feet from the solid white line, and he's coming over. There's a car right there, and there's another car behind that one. He starts to keep pushing over. Neither one of them bucked, so he finally went back out and then went back in. But our daughter was the same thing. Guy came over, and they got carpool lanes out here. If you got 2 or more people, you can ride the carpool lane. They're riding the carpool lane, cooking along about 80 miles an hour, and here comes this guy with a pickup truck. If they wouldn't have hit the brakes, they would have slammed right into. They had a rental car. They had a BMW they rented this weekend to go to a high-end wedding. And they would have hit that car. They had to slam the brakes on, and the guy didn't even notice them. So, yes, you have nothing. And I seen that last year because we used to split lanes on motorcycles here. We did all that. And last year, I took the bike over to California, Southern California, and I was never so scared in all my life. I can't believe I drove in that.
What?
The splitting lanes in California.
Oh.
Last year, how bad it was. It was just, and the people drove just as nuts before. I guess I was just used to it. But driving around the United States and seeing more people courteous, you got your turn signal on, you're trying to merge over, people let you slow down and let you over, or they speed up and get out of the way, you can get behind them. Not in California. It's really sad.
X says on the couch, so close. Dawn's got nervous giggles.
So I don't know.
They said they'd welcome us back to New Hampshire. You might have to go undercover, though, they said.
Just those little small towns.
Yeah.
Actually, in Laconia, we didn't really spend a lot of time in Laconia.
It's the 22.
You already knew.
The 405. No, what Ralph said. You must have been driving in Garden Grove. Those Chinese drivers. You don't.
Nobody supposed to be racist here.
Yeah, but they don't know how to drive.
But yeah, then somebody else warned us about the 110 and all that. But she got hit out there on the 91 for all you that from California, right there coming out of going into Corona there on the 91 where they got the carpool lane. Now they got the little white sticks up. Before they didn't have, they had double yellow. She wasn't splitting lanes. She was over in the number 1 lane, carpool lanes here. And what it is, that's where you can come out and get off on any of the next roads. Like you want to get off on the 60 or whatever, you would get off there. Well, this guy comes out. She didn't even see him till it was too late. Hit her with her car and never stopped. She slid across 3 lanes at 5 o'clock at night. How she's still here today, nobody knows. Totaled out her bike. And how she didn't get run over on the highway, which was only doing about 35. But once again, people in California aren't always watching what's going on. So she survived that. So that's where she got hit. And actually, when we talked to the state police, they said that in that stretch of land there between the 241 and Green River Road, there's more motorcycle accidents there than anywhere else in the United States.
So there's too many vegans in California. That's the problem.
I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say that. I have no idea.
We
We don't really know that many vegans.
Yep.
We only know one, but he doesn't
cell
know.
phones.
Yeah. People on phone, people not paying attention, people talking.
When we first moved out to California, we could not believe how many people had a laptop open on their steering wheel, working, had the newspaper up on their steering wheel working, women putting on their makeup.
And they're behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
They're not the passenger, they're behind the steering wheel.
I mean, it was like we would just drive by and go, is that guy really got a computer?
You see
open?
more when you ride a motorcycle and split lanes. You wonder why you split lanes. That's why. And there's a key to splitting lanes, and I should do a video on that and explain to you. There
We
is
should do a video on how to get on the bike.
Yeah, we got to do that too. Couldn't believe we had a girl that didn't know how to get on a motorcycle.
They just
A
had
passenger,
bought
a
one. They just
passenger.
had bought one.
And they knocked the bike over. His bike. He just got it at Dan Kites, got it all painted up. They got out there, and she got on it and pulled him over. It was a little bit of a hill too, but you should have pulled it up. I would have pulled it up to make sure you're a little bit more stable.
When she went to get on, she went like
No,
this.
don't do that. We'll talk about that. We'll do a video on that. How to properly get on a passenger to properly get on a motorcycle. Could be any kind of motorcycle. other than a dirt bike, because a lot of dirt bikes don't have extra pegs. Skin slaughter around on a motorcycle don't have extra pegs. So, just FYI. Somebody was telling me today, which I still think is a line of crap. I think people are selling something they shouldn't have. How many people here have an RV that he gets an alignment done on his trailer? Well, when I Googled it, all it said was what they did is they measured and all this, and they're looking to see if you bent a wheel. Well, bent wheel isn't going to show up in alignment. That would show up balancing your tire or just spinning your tire. You'd see it wobble back and forth. Second of all, it would show you if the springs were loose. Once again, you can crawl underneath it. You've got leaf springs. You can look up there and you can see where springs move. I used to be an auto mechanic. And I forget what the third thing was. And because typically the only way you can ruin a trailer is by jacking it up with the axle, and you bend the axle. You're going to bend it up now, and it's going to adjust. You can't adjust the toe and the camber. You could, we have torsion bars on ours. We have a torsion. We don't have leaf springs on our trailer. And the other thing is, I was trained by Hunter. Google that. Hunter Alignments. That's who I got trained by. I used to be an alignment guy. And one of the last things I did in my career being an auto mechanic. What?
Reese Hitches.
Well, I went to Reese Hitches when I first started my career. But I went to Hunter. Hunter Alignment School is the big ones that make almost all the Hunter alignment machines and all this. That's who trained me. And I went to a school and learned how to alignment, and there was nothing about trailers. I think it's these RV places, which I was going to call Camping World tomorrow and see if they said it's a $250 price. Well, most of them do it with a string and a weight. Mainly, you're looking at, if you got an RV, you're looking at your tires. Well, this came out on my one about my tire blowing out. One of the things I probably need to do is get sensors for the tires to tell you the air pressure and tell you the temperature of the tire and all that. Probably 90% of the time, our trailer tires have blown out. The three that are blown out, and they're on all different axles, all different positions. So not one is blown out in the same place, same axle. So it wouldn't be an alignment problem. Alignment problem, you're looking at a couple different things. One, you'd be looking in a normal car, or there is RV alignments. Motorhomes, they get aligned because you've got front wheels that turn and back wheels. Your front wheels is what you do the adjusting on, not the rear wheels. So if you're driving down the road and your motorhome or your car or something's not following each other, it's dog tracking. I see that every once in a while. You should be able to get behind. If you've got a car, you think you got a problem, have somebody follow behind you, get right behind you. The front tire and the back tire should be perfectly straight. If one's off a little bit to the left or to the right, we'll look at the other one, and it should be the same way. The car's tracking different. That shows you that the wheel's off, and that's why it's tracking. It's got nothing to do with the rear end. It's got to do with the front. You do that. Now, there is four-wheel alignments. On some cars that have four-wheel alignments, that you actually have a caster and a camber in the back. Well, on a trailer, there is no caster and camber adjustments. There could be something on a brand, maybe Airstream, $500,000 RV might have caster and camber adjustments on them now, but not on a solid straight axle. There's no way you could have caster and camber. Now, the gentleman wrote me a couple different times because I said I'd Google it because I was like, I don't know. Maybe something new's come out and I didn't know nothing about it. Well, then when I looked at it, I think they're charging you $250 where you can go to a tire shop and a regular garage and look at your tires that you have on your RV and pretty much, like our boat did that. Our boat got jacked up by the axles and it bent all four of my axles like this. So what happened was we went all the way to Parker, which is like 100 miles away and back. We got home, the whole inside of my tires on all the tires inside were completely gone. It was down to the cords. And I'm like, holy crap. There's nothing, I took the wheels all off thinking, well, maybe the rims are bent. Bent rims not going to do that. It's going to give you, the tread's going to be uneven. So we had to buy new axles for the boat trailer. And I remind everybody now, do not jack up like the RV. When I had my tires the new tire put on my trailer, I told the kid, I said, you're not jacking up by the axle, right? Sometimes we do. And then the manager said, no, we never jack up by the axle. That's right. Because if that's a heavy trailer and you're lifting up on that tubing's empty. It's hollow inside. You're going to bend the tubing. Now, our boat weighs like 5,000 pounds. We got the heaviest ass boat in the world for a pontoon boat.
Well, even the boat guy, he says, man, it took everything I had for my truck to pull that boat out of the water. That is the heaviest boat I've ever seen. It's a big boat.
Yeah. So I don't believe that there's an alignment can be done on a boat. Or on a boat. Well, boat trailer either. If you can do a boat, yeah. You can't do an alignment on a trailer. And if you got any information, you can write it down here in the comments, and I'll go look it up. But we're going to call Camping World. I think they said normal price is $250 to get your trailer aligned. I think what they're doing is checking to see if you have a problem. But if your axle is bent, the only thing they can do is re-bend it. But you can't bend it with heat because you take out the temper of the steel. So you would actually have to pull the axle off and take it someplace that's got a machine that can actually bend it back true. Good luck with that. Maybe a frame shop or something, but it's cheaper to go buy it. I bought all new axles for the boat. It was $3,500. I think I got the wheels, the new tires, new axle, new drums and everything. Rotors, everything was new. Wheels. Not rotors. What do you got?
Right finger death. I don't know what that says. Monk guy. I think he was butt texting us. I have no idea what that means. And that's hard $27.99. I don't think he was trying to say anything inappropriate. So rewrite that, Bob.
So yeah. So we're actually in the living room today. That's our behind our couch. And if you lean that way, you can see the
Dakota digital.
That's clockwork sign.
Oh, well, the clockwork sign. And then
the digital thing is
he won this at the auction or the bike
last
builders thing. I don't know if it was was it last year? Was it down in Daytona?
Maybe it was in Daytona. I didn't win. I think I won the bid.
Well, you bid. He bid on the
I got new handlebars too coming. I haven't ordered them yet. We're going to do that in the shop.
But you got to see which ones you want.
I know which ones I'm probably going to want. Go get my little certificate. Entertain yourself with them.
He's got to entertain myself with them. So who's on now? The rock band 5-Finger Death Punch. Oh, is that what that was supposed to be? I don't know who that is either. The rock band 5-Finger Death Punch. I don't know.
Is that a band?
I guess. Is that a blanket or a banner? It's a banner.
Yeah, it's a banner.
It kind of looks like a football jersey. It's got those little.
I think it's set up so the wind can blow through it. So here it is from Fat Baggers.
Go up. There you go.
I bid it on that and got it for $250. And I looked on Amazon and it's for charity too. And I might have been able to get a free set, but I mean, charity. So I bid it on it. I was looking on just Amazon and they start out at like $4.95 for handlebars. So I figured I want to get a little bit higher. So we're going to get some handlebars and we're going to put them on.
Because he's got a pain in his neck.
Better than my pain in my butt. Feel guilty?
You pointed?
I'm pointing back here.
Yeah, that's not where you pointed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to sleep on that little couch there tonight.
You'll be sleeping on the couch. I'll be sleeping in the bed.
Yes, the band. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'll have to look them up. 5-Finger Death Punch? Yeah, 5-Finger Death Punch. I don't know. Never heard of them.
Which is really funny.
There's a lot of bands we've never heard of them. We used to DJ.
Yeah, we used to own a DJ company back in the early 2000s, late 90s to 2000. We actually had an entertainment company. Can you believe that? And so that's why we kind of knew about doing events like this. Not this big events, but we've done some 2,500 people events and things like that. We've done country concerts. I did sound for Roy Clark and some other country stars. Yeah. And one of the girls was there. I can't think of what the lady was. I can't think what her name was. She was there too.
What, Minnie Pearl?
No, girl. She doesn't sing. And this was done back in the early 2000s. I did sound for them. And they came to town where we were at and needed sound, and we brought it to them. It's pretty exciting. And so we got some experience in that, and I don't know where that was going.
Because we didn't know who that band was. 5-Finger.
So we do. I've got like 10,000 CDs. That's back when CDs were real popular. That I still have.
I put 5, and that was the first thing that popped up.
They heard you
probably
talking.
Because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know where we were. We went to Costco, and I got a scam on my text message
from Costco,
and it said, it looked like, I guess it was supposed to come from one of the kids. Dad just dropped off a package for you, and he said that if we go down to it's cost, COST,
Then
space, CO, and they're giving away money. Sign up under this link. I'll meet you down there. Well, we were staying with
First
one
of all,
daughter.
it wasn't even a phone number. It was like 217 area code, so you're in the wrong state.
Yeah, 217 is.
You weren't even in one of our where we were even at. So
217's Illinois.
and there's a lot of scams. That's just like on this page here. We're looking to make sure there's no scams coming up, and we try to delete them as quick as we can. They come up, report them if you're on there that they're there. You know, we're not selling T-shirts. We're not doing the girls that have links to their
Personal pages.
porn pages or whatever the heck they are.
Porn pages.
Porn. Get rid of those. We're just not offering any of that. You can't listen to music while we're on here. You're not going to know who it is. So, but go in there.
Sounds like a hard rock.
And put down some of the bands. We've got two surveys we're doing right now. One is, where are you wanting to stay in 2023 if you're coming to Sturgis? Two, what bands would you like to see at the Buffalo Chip? And we're going to be sitting down with them soon and talking to them. Not saying they're going to listen to anything we say, but they actually have a survey too going on their website. And so what I want to do is see how many people come to this website versus theirs. What?
He says that the girl that was at the bear girl from the Harley Davidson, Washington, D.C. was the same girl that won Miss Sturgis 2022. The girl that.
Did you guys know the beer girl from the Harley Davidson of DC?
The one out and back I took pictures
is the same girl that won
Miss Sturgis 2022.
No, I had no idea. But we could go back and look and see where they said they were all from. But I don't know. I know which one won. I know which one that she looks like, but I don't remember where she said she was from. But yeah, that could have been.
I was thinking it was that girl in the poster. That's not her.
No. She wasn't in the contest.
If I make it to Sturgis next year, I'm going to find you and let you buy me a beer. There you go. Road Glide 911.
So pretty exciting. So we got a lot of things going on. We've got some stuff to talk about the city with. We got some stuff going on with the Buffalo Chip. We got a bunch of campgrounds that we've got set up to make phone calls to, that we've already met with them already before we left Sturgis. That's what we did the last couple of days before we headed out. Met with some of those. We're going to give you guys some information on where those campgrounds, when they're going to start booking. Looks like a lot of the campgrounds that we've already talked to really aren't going to start till like November. Now, some places already booked. Like if you leave, some campgrounds will go ahead. Like if you're at Kathmandu, you could have booked right now. If you're already there, you automatically can take this year and get it. So a lot of campgrounds will always give you first choice. Now, I know Kathmandu does it. I don't know how many other campgrounds, but I know like the Buffalo Chip, they've got some of their regulars, like some of the spots we were looking at. People have been going there for 20 years. They weren't going to give us their spot. And because I don't know how they got locked in, but.
So she's AB, whoever that is, Anheuser-Busch, no, just logged into this video. What group page? So did you log in from our Facebook group page? Because this is our YouTube channel, which is called Bob and Tam's Excellent Event. It's not on there.
Well, you can put up our email, our website. Last one.
This one?
Last one.
This one. There's our website.
Yes. If you go to bobandtams.com, that is our website. You can go from there and you can get to our Facebook group. Off of that, you go up to the top over here. At the top of that page, you click those three bars and they'll take you to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Facebook pages. They're all there. YouTube is where we give out most of the current information about us and what we're doing, all the information we give out. We're the only ones that give out all this information. There's a lot of people that try to do what we do, but we work the whole rally. And we like to do this. We have a lot of fun doing this. We like to give people great information. We like to give, like somebody was arguing with me on this page here about how many dump sites they had at the Buffalo Chip. And I said, well, some guy thought Buffalo Chip was just a field. There was no hookups or nothing. I said, they've got full hookups. Not a lot. They got a few. And most of them are electric and water. And they have dump stations. And I said, they got about a dozen dump stations. And she came back and said, you're incorrect. And I'm like, I'll have to look at the video. And she goes, well, the one I know only has 4. And I think that's what the same one at the top of the hill has. So there's only 8. And you're saying there's 12. I said, first of all, I told you it was about 12. And then when I went back and looked, she was right. There was 4 down at the bottom one, but at the top, there's 12. So, or not 12, there's 6 of them at the top. So I'm only off by 2. Who cares? The point was that they had that many, even if they had only 8, they've still got more dumps than most of these other campgrounds out there have. Most of them might have 2, but most of them, like Kathmandu, he's got 2. And most of these other campgrounds might only have 1. So even if you got 3, Buffalo Chip's got a way more than what any of the other ones have. And that was my point with this guy was, if you come to the Buffalo Chip, first of all, there is full hookups, there's electric, there's 30 amp, there's 50 amp, there's 110 sites, there's water on a bunch of sites. There's even some tent spots I think you can get electric in. So there's a lot of different stuff out there. There's boondocking too, dry camping, that's out there too. So this guy was just thinking that all it was dry camping, and that's all there was out there at the Buffalo Chip. And it's not. And people complain about a lot of stuff. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to spend the time at the Buffalo Chip. I think, and a lot of people, other people think, it is the biggest thing in the motorcycle community is the Buffalo Chip. There is nothing compares to that. Nothing. You know, there is no, if you go, somebody say, oh, Cackleberry's really, that's nothing compared to what the Buffalo Chip is. And I'm not even talking about the concerts. I'm talking about all the other stuff that goes on out there on that property. People go, oh, the bathrooms are dirty. You're lying. We were there. We stayed there last year. We took a shower every day in the shower house. We actually went up there. We thought, Sunday, after everybody's gone, pretty much heading out, let's go use the bathrooms up there at the top 40, back 40. Let's go check them out. What'd you think about the bathroom you went in?
They were fine. Yeah, they were clean. There was
they're camping backgrounds. They're not at the Ritz-Carlton.
No,
but you're.
I would have. I went to the bathroom in them, and 2, I would have taken a shower in them.
Without no trouble. No, the flies are kind of bad. When I went to wash my hands at the other one, down behind the, there was a lot of flies around. But what are you gonna do? There's flies.
There was flies everywhere.
They call them
rally flies.
So you got to watch them. But other than a lot of people, just like the dust is everywhere. But the Buffalo Chip, we went through the Buffalo Chip several times during the rally with the truck, and a couple times on the motorcycle. The dust was 90% better than it's ever been. If you'd have been there last year in 2020, then you would have known what dust was. Dust in a fire.
Yeah.
And everybody said, oh, it's just a Buffalo Chip. No, it's not. It's everywhere.
Garbage dumps. They said, are you meaning the bathhouse? I think one she probably is. Oh, in 2016, they were there. 5 Finger Death Punch was at the Buffalo Chip.
And so that's one of the things I want to talk to Rod about, too, because sometimes he'll say, like, we said something about Aerosmith. It'd be really great to get Aerosmith to come back.
Everybody happy. That's for
and
sure.
He said, we've already had Aerosmith out a couple of times. Well, one of the things we were going to tell him that, I'll bet you there's a lot of people that's on here now. Have any of you been at the Buffalo Chip or been in Sturgis and got to see Aerosmith play a few years ago? They haven't been going.
He fell off the stage.
Yeah. If we were there, we didn't know he was there. We've been going out there for 10, 12 years now. We've been going out to Sturgis off and on. So, but I think there's a lot, especially nowadays, there's so many new people coming out that's never been to Sturgis. This year might have been their first time they ever came. So you've never seen all the other bands that they've had out there. They've had ZZ Top, they've had George Thorogood, they've had all these bands. They even had Bill Haley in the Comets was actually one of their official bands back in early.
When they first started, like 80s.
No, it wasn't 80s. They were only there 40 years. And but it wasn't the first 10 years they had no bands. Mm-hmm. It was like 2001. It was like the first time they had concerts out there. And because Sturgis wasn't that big a thing as it is now. Back then when people say, oh, it wasn't the way it used to be. It used to be like 5,000 people. Actually, well, we never got to meet up with that guy. There was a guy that's been at the very first Sturgis rally, and he said there was 300 people there. That was it. 300 people showed up to the very first Sturgis rally 40 some odd years ago down in the park. That was it. 300 people. So over these years, it's gotten bigger and bigger. It comes and goes, and like people say, oh, it's dying now. It's dying. There's nobody going to Sturgis. Look how bad it was this year. First of all, you don't know nothing about Sturgis. You don't know nothing about motorcycle rallies, because motorcycle rallies are going to go up and down. Because just like next year, we went to Laconia. In my opinion, and a couple other people, is Next year might be the last year Laconia has a bike rally.
Bike rally.
And it was, I couldn't even compare it to any other rally. It's similar to Myrtle Beach. It wasn't at all what I was expecting from the rally. So the 100th, there's going to be a lot of people there.
Not that I know of. Fat Elvis.
But I mean, there's some like bands, and we were talking about bands. I'd like to see Queen come. I don't know if they've ever been out there. One of the guys we talked to has been working out there for 14, 15 years. He said, I don't think Queen's ever been there. And with that, Adam Lampert, he sounds pretty good.
Yeah, he does. I like him a lot.
I think he would do a good job.
2009 Buffalo Chip was there.
Oh, Aerosmith?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Buffalo Chip was there.
So it's been a long time. So how many people seen Aerosmith at the Buffalo Chip in 2009? You know, a lot of the people, just like this year, I would say 50 to 75% of the people we talked at in Sturgis, this was their first year. Never been here before, ever, first time. And it's great. It's fun to be your first time to come to something like that. And that's why we like to help people, to give you that information about, you know, and we're going to do a series on how many days you're going to go to a rally. What should you think about doing? What can we plan out?
We'd have to see.
And work from there.
Like for now.
What?
He said, has Hootie and the Blowfish ever been there? Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker used to be in Hootie and the Blowfish. But I don't know.
I don't know what you got to look at. Well, one, they like to do at the Buffalo Chip, they like to give a variety of music. Now, there was a lot of people that were butthurt about
Snoop Dogg.
I don't know. Is there, what did you do? Which is what I always argue about. The 75-year-old guy or the 65-year-old guy that's riding around playing Snoop Dogg on his, and got heavy rap music on his bike. And that's the guys I always want to ask them. Hey, come here. What? I like that song. Who is that? What's the name of the song? I don't know. Well, I want to know too. Well, I think that's what it is. I think we have the same problem down here at the river, in Colorado River. We have all these guys that go out and buy $1 million boats by themselves, or two dudes in the boat, and they're playing all this heavy rap music. And you're riding along in your boat. They think they're going to pick up these 20-year-old girls. Good luck with that. Not saying you can't happen, but I don't know. It's like I tell everybody all the time.
I don't know.
What?
I guess that's the one it won. I don't remember seeing her. I took a picture of
Which one?
I guess it's the one in the middle.
No, that's not this year.
It says 2022.
2021.
I don't know.
I already seen it. It's that little blonde. The one with the really big.
It said
I can show you.
2022.
I can show you which one it is.
Miss Buffalo Chip 2022.
Well, the video you were watching here, I'll show you the one that won.
Whatever. Oh, there's a bunch of people on now. Let's get Dolly Parton at the Chip. Do a 9 to 5.
I think it was this one.
Maybe.
It's one of the girls you interviewed.
All right.
And you go outside?
It was my first time. Had a great time. Your info was very helpful. I'm glad to help out, Greg. Blackberry Smoke. Yeah, I think they were somewhere. Were they at the Full Throttle?
Yeah. This Buck Cherry was the one.
Yeah.
And
Hey, G. Ratham's on.
There you go.
So hopefully I said that right.
And I told her how to pronounce it the other day. So
Rat. Don't go to the Chip till 2015. Laugh Out Loud seemed like too much money back then.
Well, what you got to look at is, it's kind of like what we talk about.
Garth Brooks?
Is Garth Brooks would never come out there. That's the thing you look at is,
Hey, how you doing?
you know, what you got to look at when you look at events like this. First of all, when you come to Sturgis, a lot of people are crabbing this year about the food and all that. And it's like, don't buy from the street vendors. You know, and people are complaining, oh, the city should do something about it. Last time I knew, we were in America. You can charge anything you want. If they want to charge $1,000 for that freaking hot dog, and if you're stupid enough to pay $1,000 for the hot dog, then who are you going to complain to? I mean, that's what it is. Don't be yipping at people on how to do their business. If they want to sell a T-shirt for $500 and you're stupid enough to buy it for $500, then it's your fault. You know, it's like these shirts. I'm not paying $35 for a shirt without sleeves on it. I don't buy them. If they're not on sale for around $20, I don't buy it. Because to me, it's not justifiable. A Chinese shirt isn't worth $35 to me.
even if it's got Harley Davidson.
That's
You
right.
know what his mom always used to say? Because she used to get so mad because I never bought them. The kids had to buy their own clothes if they wanted something. Like our youngest daughter used to go to Abercrombie, had to have everything Abercrombie. And she's like, how much are they paying you to wear that? And she's like, what do you mean? She's, I have to pay them like big bucks. And she's like, no, no, no.
'Cause it was
You're
shirt.
advertising for them
It
because
was-
it's got Abercrombie all over it. And you paid like $50 for that sweater or whatever it was. Wrap bun. G wrap bun. There you go.
So, but that's what I would say. When you're going to Sturgis, now, like I say, we tell you, you go to Sturgis on $100. Other than your gas, you can get by with $100. There's places we can show you. You can't for free. You can talk to Scotty Mahadi. What's Scotty's name? Scotty Tuhati?
No, it's Scooter Tramp Scotty.
There you go. And he'll show you where he stayed at. It's one of the places we recommend. Stay for free. Won't cost you a dime. 14 days. You can stay there for free. They even had some Johnny on the spots there this year. I was actually surprised they brought some down there for you. So they had those there. You can pay to come in town and take a shower, or you can go the whole week without a shower. That's your choice. You know.
Or if the creek's not dry, you can go down there in the little creek and rinse off.
That's right. So you can do that.
Somebody told me they get those. You can get those.
Wipes.
Yeah, like they have them in hospitals, like for people that can't get up and get in the shower. They're like big hand wipes, but they're like towel size, and you can wash your whole body off with it.
So there's ways to get away with not spending money. But then people go, oh, it's so expensive, $200, or at the campground. It's $1,500. Last year at the Full Throttle, 2021, we paid about $1,600 for Buffalo chip from the start, pre-rally through the rally, and with our wristbands. And is that expensive? I've spent a lot more than that and a whole lot less time going to Disneyland or going to Florida or going to Miami or going to New York or going to Hawaii or someplace like that. I'm going to spend a whole lot more money than that. So I don't know where people misunderstand about coming to a rally. Daytona, going to Sturgis, going to any of these rallies. Everybody, and they're like, I don't understand why they jack the prices up. Have you been anywhere that has events raise the prices? You've been to a baseball game lately?
How much they charge you for a beer?
$15 for a beer and $10 for a hot dog? Actually, it was a better deal in Sturgis for that. But there's many places. Uncle Louie's was cheap. You could go to the Knuckle. They still have $15. I think it was $15 hamburger and fries you got. And now we're not big drinkers, but I'm not going to pay $15 for a beer at One Eye Jack's. We talked about that last week on our thing. Well, you can go right over here to Uncle Louie's for $3. You get a beer, and $5 you get a mixed drink. Or you can go down to the Vets Club. They're cheaper. They said Oasis has got a pretty good prices on theirs. They don't seem to up theirs, but even the grocery store raises their prices during the rally. It's an opportunity.
$100 plus a credit card, they said.
No, you can get away with a whole lot less.
Cold but free.
You got to get a loaf of bread, get you some peanut butter and jelly. There's your meal. Get you a cooler, get you a foam cooler, get you a 12-pack of beer, a couple bags of ice you'll need for that week. Come back to the campground because you shouldn't be riding around on your motorcycle drinking anyway. So you come back at night, you have a couple of beers every night, and you go to bed. You can go, there's all the concerts that are in town are free. You can go anywhere, the Iron Horse, you can go down to the Knuckle, or you can go to One Eye Jack's, and all the concerts are free. Don't cost you a dime. You don't even have to spend any money. Nobody's harassing you. You have to buy a drink when you come in there.
They said you're the new Red Fordman. You know who that is?
Yeah.
On the 70s show.
That's what he is. You call him a
He's
dumbass all the time.
See, that's one of his things. He calls everybody that.
And but it's just people complain about the stupidest things. If you don't like Sturgis, then don't come.
So don't spend money. Just watch Bob and Tam and hit that thumbs up button.
And but I mean, if it's like you want to go down to your local Harley store and they've got a little 3-day rally going on, yeah, you can go down there. You can have breakfast at home before you leave. Go down there and spend all afternoon. Come back at the end of the night and eat at home. You bought a couple beers down there for $5 or $8 a piece. Same thing.
That's the one that raises their prices. The Coda Mart. They told us that.
Yep.
We didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm assuming they're
it's
only
just
doing the beer and the ice.
soda.
Because the ice there cost me, I think it was $5 for a bag of ice. And I'm like, that can't be their
There you
normal
go.
price.
It's a vacation. It's going to
That's right.
cost you.
That's right. And that's what I look at it is. And we've done that when we used to ride our bike there. We took a 2-week vacation and we took 3 days to get there, 3 days to get home, and we spent a week there. And that's what we did. That was our 2-week vacation every year for several years. And what we did, we rode our bike there.
There you go. G. Rathbum said that you could go by there and he's got liters of Fireball with our names on it.
Who does?
G. Rathbum.
Oh.
Rathbum. I don't know.
And
I can't say that.
it's which we have liquor and stuff that we can bring. I got $10,000
Red
of
and
liquor out
tan.
here in the bar probably. We're not big drinkers, and when it's as hot as it is, I don't like to drink beer when it's this hot. I don't drink water to start with, so that's one of my problems why I can't drink a lot of beer and stuff. I dehydrate too quickly. So, and she's not ever since
I started getting hangovers, I don't drink anymore.
So she was about 40 years old. She never got a hangover. She'd drink all night, get up at 7 o'clock, and be ready to go. Then one day she woke up.
And I'm like, oh, I feel like crap. They're like, you got a hangover. And I'm like, oh, why do you people do this? I'm like, I would never do this. So yeah, once I start getting hangovers, I was
My
like,
problem is I don't really get drunk
he gets sick.
this way.
Yeah.
So
You think he's loud now? He gets a few beers in him and he gets louder and louder and louder. And all of a sudden he's over there in the bushes. You can rob the Hells Angels house. No, I don't think I would do that.
No.
That would not be a smart move for anybody. I would not suggest that.
I don't know if there's anything in there, and I don't know if there's anything in there to steal. They said there's some guys that stay behind the house because I thought that house was open all year round, that they were in there. And we got there like a month before the rally, and it was all
looked
closed up.
abandoned.
Yeah, it looked like. And they said behind it there are some trailers or some buildings, and there's a couple guys that stay back there year round.
I don't know.
No, that doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Charlie says we've been on too long. Well, why won't that go? Don't like water heated that Thursday at 105 degrees almost did me in.
Yeah, so this was a really hot year. Normally, we've been in Sturgis before where it's got 104, but it was like for like one day. So yes, this is like this everywhere in the United States. Global warming. And so who knows? Who knows what's going on? I have no idea.
You got 10 minutes.
So I don't know. But the idea is to go there and have fun, and that's why I like the Sturgis Rally. It's back to my 3 things. Great riding. You could stay there for 30 days and never hit all the riding. It's just such a great ride. And just all the places you can ride to and things to see, and all these little towns. We did a bunch of interviews with a bunch of them. We didn't even get all those up for you guys. Custer and all these different places we went out to, Spearfish and all this stuff. We got a lot of great videos that we'll be putting out next year in January to start letting you guys start thinking about. And we're going to help you with our videos. We're going to help you plan days. Here's things you would like to do, give you some options. Because a lot of people say that, hey, I want to go to the Badlands and I'm going to be there for 3 days. Do you really want to waste the whole day just going to the Badlands?
Neil's on.
Oh, he finally made it, huh?
There he is.
And Miss Dawn.
Hi, everyone. I'm finally on. Well, we're getting ready to get off. I just gave him a 10-minute warning.
And so Dawn was on. I don't know where she went.
There she is. She was on just a few minutes
ago.
ago.
I forget. Oh, so we're going to give you a lot of really good information on trying to help you what you want to do.
Maybe we should do a series on how to stay cool in Sturgis.
You do that too. The idea is like we tell people, do your rides first thing in the morning. We were out, and one of our rides was one of the days it got up to 100, 101 degrees, and we were out in the Black Hills, and you didn't get to see all the videos that we filmed. You didn't even get to see Needles Highway. I didn't show that one. And I'm going to show you some highlights of it, and then we'll redo that for next year and show you the rides again. And but you didn't even get to see all the rides we did. We found a lot of great roads to ride on. We just didn't get time to put all those out. The 14A is a great ride. The 385 is a great ride. There's a whole bunch of roads out there that are just fun to ride. And and that's why I said Sturgis is such. And what you need to do, and what I tell people to do, and what we did once we figured out what to do, is you kind of plan out your stuff. It's kind of like this time. We did the Legends ride. We did Topless Tuesday, and we did Hewlett, the Ham Jam. That burned up half of our rally.
Those 3 days.
Yep. So that's all day it took to do all those things. So when you sit back and look at it and go, okay, do I really want to spend a whole day doing this one thing? Or would I rather go do maybe 5 different things? That's why I always tell people, you may not want to stop at Mount Rushmore and go inside and pay the $10 to park your bike and walk up there, because you can stand on the side of the road and you pretty much get the same picture that you're going to get inside.
Yeah. You don't get that much closer to it.
Yeah. And so it's not, but if you've never been there, then yeah, that might be something you might want to do. But if I'm coming for the motorcycle rally, that's why people always say that to me all the time. They're like, wow, don't you want to go into and visit the Air Force Museum down there? Not really. I'm here for a motorcycle rally.
I want to ride my bike.
I want to do motorcycle stuff. I'd love to come back, which I would. I would love, which is why we get there so early. This year we didn't even get back to them. I wanted to go back to the Air Force Museum. We went there in 2020.
Yeah, and it wasn't all open.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's just on the other side of Rapid City, and it's free to get into. And to where if you're coming extra early and you got things to do, then yeah. But I mean, if you want to go see the dealership where all the vendors are at, the 100+ vendors that they have over there, you could spend all day just kind of looking at all the vendors and talking to them and stuff. You could do a quick blow by in a couple of hours. But what I like about Sturgis and Daytona is the only 2 places you can go that you get to meet a lot of the owners of these companies. Clockworks is there. Big executives from Dakota Gauges is there. Vance and Hines, there's corporate. Well, at least you're getting to talk to the corporate people if you don't actually get to talk to an owner, where they can give you inside information on what you might want to decide. I do this example all the time. We could use any exhaust, but I always do Vance and Hines. You go down to run to your local shop tomorrow. Give them a call on the phone tomorrow morning and say, hey, I want to get some Vance and Hines pipes on my bike. Which ones would you recommend? I want one after they recommend one, say, I want one that's kind of got a deeper tone to it. Which one? But I don't want it so loud it's going to bother the neighbors. Which one would you recommend for me? Probably ain't going to be able to recommend for sure. They're going to guess. They're going to say, let's read the catalog. Let's see what it says in the catalog about it. Well, you go to Sturgis, you go to Daytona, they have the truck out there. They have all the bikes out there with all the pipes on them. You can hear what they sound like, and you can sit on one, you can rev it up, you can see what it's like. You can get a feel for what you like. And then you can talk to them and say, hey, how about one? Do you have one there with a tuner on it? Matter of fact, we do. Let's go over here. It's got the Vance and Hines tuner on it. Let's see how that one sounds with the tuner on it. So you get a little bit more versus at your local shop. It's kind of like Ryder X was on here. He's on his 2nd tuner now. His 1st tuner he didn't care for. He went to his 2nd one now. So it's like you don't know. You can buy stuff, but then when you buy it and it ain't no good, nobody's going to take that crap back. They're going to say, you used it. Too bad for you. And you lost that money. Well, you can go to these vendors and you can look. Like, let's say Clockworks, who say, maybe, I want to get a windshield. I'd like to have a colored windshield. Do they make those now? Matter of fact, they just started making them. I don't think they're selling them yet.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't know if Rick Rex said it wasn't totally in production yet. He'd be getting them in the next few months. They had them there to show, and I think they sold some display models they had, but I don't think they were selling. I'm not sure.
I've seen a few bikes.
But I was just saying, even that, I look at it and go, man, I'd really like to have that red one or a blue one to match my bike. I want a blue one on the front. Well, they never made those before. Now you could get them from, if they didn't have it in stock, then I could order it. I could get it in a reasonable amount of time from their work. Plus Clockworks, we had them on our channel where if you're traveling across from New York or
Laconia,
Ryder X coming across the top of the United States there, hitting the 90 coming across, you can stop at Clockworks and they'll install windshields right there for you.
And they'll let you can go take it for an hour, come back and say, this one's too tall. That one's too short.
Yeah, blows my hat off.
That one's too whatever, I don't, and until you find the right one. And they said, take it out and ride it, because they'll let you do that at some of the demo trucks too. But they usually just want you to drive around the parking lot and then come right back. Where they said, if you go there at the Clockworks, they'll say, go down the 90, drive it for 20 miles and then come back and let us know if you like it. If you don't, we'll give you a different one to try.
So it's kind of neat that they offer that and it's year round.
Steven says you can go the whole year down there at Myrtle Beach and never hit all the pancake houses.
You're probably right.
You go 3 times a day and still
that at the t-shirt shops, you could probably, and miniature golf. One of these days, maybe with Steven, we come back, maybe we'll get there extra early this year when we come for spring and we'll do a competition. We'll have you guys, maybe we'll do a bet. We'll see how long it'll take. So we'll have to have Steve count all the miniature golf places and see how long, if we go consecutively, how long it will take us to play every miniature golf from open to close. Once they close, we can't keep playing. How many days will it take us to play, or even one day, one round at all the miniature golf in Myrtle Beach?
We'll probably take it the whole year too.
Might be. We might have to just say we give up. But yeah, pancake houses and then they half of them aren't open after 1 o'clock or 12.
Yeah.
They all lock down. They're closed up. Half the businesses there are closed because the pancake house closed up.
No Love Ride anymore. Nope, that
Nope.
stopped long time
Yeah.
ago. We
But
probably went to one of the last ones.
Well, no, because they moved it back to the old place, and that's what killed
Oh.
it after that. We
they
went
were
to it.
going-
Yeah, we went to it when it was in Funtucky,
No,
to Fontana. Pomona
Pomona.
at the
Fairgrounds.
fairgrounds. We went there once, and CZ Top played. Hot as heck that day, and that was a pretty good one. And then we used to have. We went to another one after that. We used to have a little rally they have out here at the Irvine Park. It kind of sucks. It's more of a
Born free.
It's like a biker thing where they bite the hot dogs, and it's, I don't know. I'm not into that. I'm
And
not
Larry
into those
Hagman
games.
showed up. That's why I wanted to go.
Yeah,
I was a huge Dallas fan.
yeah. So he came there and rode his bike in, and
That tells you how long ago that was.
so yeah. So it's just
2 hours.
it's just interesting about rallies. And Sturgis, the reason we talk so much about Sturgis is because so many people in Sturgis, the vendors, the campgrounds, the city, the Buffalo Chip, Kathmandu, there's so many places that will work with us to get you guys this good information. And plus Sturgis, that's the three things. Great riding, best vendors you're going to find are in Sturgis. And the last thing is the people. Not just the people that live there, but the people that come to that rally. Most people overall are really good moods. People are really nice to each other. They are friendly with each other. You can talk to people. You bump into a guy and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they'll say, "I'm sorry too." And it's nice. I'm not saying there's not some buttholes out there, which there always is in a crowd. And those guys shouldn't even be coming to the rally. They don't understand what the biker
Etiquette.
life. They don't understand the biker lifestyle. It's like we were talking to one percenter, and that's what he said. He said, actually, we go back to what the 30s and the 40s used to be, where if you talk to somebody, I don't have my sunglasses, you take your sunglasses off when you talk to people because you want to look them in the eye. You don't want to have gloves on when you shake somebody's hand. And you want to look at them the whole time while you're shaking your hand. That's just respect. And that's a lot of the 1% is back to those old anecdotes to where it was more respectful how they treat each other. You always greet with a handshake and you always introduce yourself and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I didn't think of it that way. And it's interesting. We got a lot of 1%ers that watch our channel. And I love it when I get a chance to sit down and talk to them because I'm not a 1% expert. And there's a lot of YouTubers out here that tell you they are and great that they are. And a lot of them tell me that
we don't know. And we want to make sure we're
going to give out some information and stuff. I'm getting it from several different 1% groups. So it's not just from one person that's saying, hey, this is the way it is. Because I don't know if that guy's telling me the truth or not.
Never know.
So I like to go around and get it from several different groups that are 1%ers because a lot of them watch our channel and they come up to me and they got their cuts on and they're talking to me and I talk to them about cuts and stuff and what the difference is and what's okay, what's not. Why is the Harley one okay? I got my cut in here. It's got the rockers and everything on it. Why? Because it's a corporate patch. You got a patch that's a circle. We could get Bob and Tam patches and put on the back of our cuts. We're not a 1%er. We're not even a club member. We're just a group of people that have a Bob and Tam thing on. So it's the rockers. When you start getting the rockers on it and stuff like that, that's when it starts. Yeah, that starts getting you to be a 1%er. Now you also have to watch, which we found out from one of the other groups in Florida. You got to be sponsored by somebody. If you're going to be a motorcycle club, you have to be sponsored by a group. And it depends on your hometown, like us. When I was actually talking to one of the 1%ers about how does that work? If I wanted to have a Bob and Tam motorcycle club, what do we have to do? And he says, well, first of all, you have to go where you're at. If we did South Dakota, or if we did Arizona, depending on which way we have to find the club that's the number one in this area. Who's in control of this area? If it's the HA or whoever it is, we have to then go to them and talk to them first and say, hey, we're interested in having a Bob and Tam's motorcycle club. what do we got to do? Well, it takes about 3 years for the process to start. And if you don't screw up, it'll be done in 3 years. If you screw up, you got to start over again. Well, after we talked all about this, how it all worked and all this good stuff, when we got all done, I said, okay, that was really great information. I appreciate that. He says, well, when do you want to start? And I'm like, I don't want to start. I don't want to be a club. I don't want to be a 1%. I don't want to be anything. We just want to put out, I wanted to know some good information. So when people talk this stupid crap on the internet, I want to know who's telling me the truth and who's not. And
BS.
Yeah. And we're not experts on the clubs. And there's probably some that's on the channel now. Some of them actually have different names. They're not the real names that are on here. And we talk about what I can film, what I can't film. And we've learned a lot of that. And because we don't want to get in trouble. But I always know that if I film something on one of these clubs, if it's the HA or if it's the Sons of Silence or whoever it might be, the Vagos or the Mongols or whoever it might be, if there's something I film that they don't like, they're going to come tell me. And I'm okay with that. Because it's like when I talked to the Hells Angels years ago, and that's what, everybody said, oh, you didn't do that. Well, yes, I did. You can go with me. I'm happy to go down to the clubhouse and knock on the front door. I'm not scared of that. Now, there's things which we talked about on our channel before. You go into a bar and there's 20 or 30 1%ers in a bar, you're probably better off turning around and walking out. Because they used to do the 1% we just talked to the other day before we left. That's what he said. It used to be the old days was really bad. If they all went into a bar, they locked the door. If you're in there, you're staying and you're going to party with them no matter what they do. If you're still standing at the end of the night, good luck. If you're not, you ended up with a beer bottle over your head, so be it. That's the way it used to be. They locked the doors. Now, it can still be issues with that. So my always answer is, if there's a lot of them in a bar, which we're not big bar people anyway, but if I went in we did. This last year, we went down to Miss Newbies, and there probably was 300, all mix of clubs.
Different clubs.
Some were 1%ers, some will not. Well, first of all, it's like, okay, I can't really film anything. Then nobody said nothing to me. We had the cameras walking around.
I was just waiting.
And it was like, this just isn't a good place for us to be. They had a shooting down there last year, and they had it locked down because Miss Newbies actually has a 1% group that actually is their security. They got into it with another 1%, and I think somebody got stabbed is what ended up happening.
Got shot, stabbed.
Yeah, they didn't get shot. They got stabbed. And they closed it down that night.
I think it was
And
the fall
we had the
rally.
same thing in Myrtle Beach 2 years ago. They had a big old, beat up, some HAs beat up another guy, beat two guys up to almost till there was nothing left of them. And things do happen and things like that. And you just got to be aware of your situation. And, and when people drink, you get a lot of that liquid courage and do a lot of crazy things you shouldn't do. And like I said, we've never had any trouble with any 1% or any motorcycle club at all. Somebody in Laconia told me I was filming inside the bar, and there was a whole bunch of 1%ers there at the bar. I don't know what club it was. And the guy walked by and goes, "Watch what you're filming." Well, stupid ass, I was already watching anyway. I didn't turn my camera towards them. But there's things I can do, and there's things I can't do. And I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do. So it's not like, but like I say, when you're walking down Main Street and you're a wanted man and you're in a club and I film you, that's your life. You shouldn't have been there. And Laconia was like that. Laconia had feds out there taking pictures of the fronts of motorcycles. As you drove down with your helmet off, they took a shot of your front face and they had another guy shooting your license plates. So if you were a 1%er in Laconia, if you were wanted, they probably already know where you're at and they're going to find you. But they were plain sight. They were obvious as could be. I didn't get a chance to talk to them. I was going to say, "Hey, dude, what the hell are you doing here?" Because they had their badges on here, and they all had 35 millimeters with good lenses on it. And then I actually talked to 1%er about that. And they said the reason they use 35 millimeters is versus a digital camera. A digital camera is,
you can alter.
That's right. And a film, you could alter it, but it's less likely to. They could say, "Hey, I want to see the negative." So that way it holds up a lot better in court if they have to do something with you, which I didn't think about it, but after I thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Because in digital picture, you can do a lot of stuff with digital. You see that on the internet all the time. Somebody sticks somebody else's head on somebody else's body. And
there you go.
Yeah, you go. You're not who you thought you were, or you didn't think who they were. So Neil, have anything else to say? You just came in late show?
I don't think so. He just said, what did he say? He said,
so
he could eat pancakes till his heart's content at all the pancake houses.
So not a big crowd tonight, which ain't that bad. We still had like 80 people most of the night, so that's pretty good, not bad. And we didn't have any real specific.
A lot of people are being recruited by clubs. It's called the AARP.
Yeah, we've been getting that. She's been getting that since she was 40 years old.
Like,
I didn't get mine until just the last few years.
no, you got it for a while.
And
Anyway, yes.
so yeah, so there's a lot of things you can do, but you know, we could get into talking about clubs if people want to talk about some things like that. The things that we know, I'm not going to talk about things I don't know. I don't know if we'll get any. I did have a 1%er that said he was going to take his jacket off or his vest off, his cut, and talk to us off camera, but it never got around to that in Sturgis.
Chip.
And he's another one that kind of watches us, but he's just a normal. He's not a.
No moose yet.
No, Neil
didn't get his moose.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it was pretty good. So like I say, if you're looking, this is our new Facebook page. We started about 4 months ago. Now we do still have our 2 regular pages, Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure. We still have that one. We also have the Pating Nation for those of you that want to be dedicated. More you guys are putting, Steve puts stuff on there, Mike puts some stuff on there. I don't put as much on the Pating Nation as I do on my normal one. And this one I'm watching more than anything else. I got some surveys going on. One about if you're coming to Sturgis this next 2023, where you're going to stay or where do you want to stay at? And 2, what bands would you like to see at the Buffalo Chip? So those are 2 surveys. I'll probably have some more going on, but we're going to be meeting with the Buffalo Chip here soon. So we'd like to pass that list off. Plus, I'd like to show them how many people are actually on the site. So even if you're, go in there and put a band down, just give me some good counting numbers. So what they do this on their website and ask people. Good luck finding it. They got like 200 pages on their website. So we just want to kind of show them that there's probably a lot more people that would give them feedback if they got able to reach them. So right now we got an ear to the owner, Rod. So we're hopefully, I can't promise anything, but we're going to pass on a lot of good information, and they're looking at us for some other options that we might be helping them with in the future. And that will be probably after this next year's rally, maybe before, we don't know yet. That may change, and you may see us on other channels doing stuff. Be pretty neat. And so big things might be coming our way. And we got a couple.
So they didn't have their own booth. They were with Fair and Exchange.
Yeah.
So he said he just watched our digital
video,
the cable video, whatever. And he said he looked for him in Sturgis but never found him. He loves his and would love to have some guidance like we got.
Well, the next one we've got coming up on Tuesday is going to be the video of how to calibrate, how to use your phone app, which I've got on my phone, how to use that app and how to change everything. So that'll be another video that will come up on Tuesday. That's when they program mine. And so we wanted to do both. The first one was the factory guy talked to us, which is the same one that did the interview with us. And then
in Sioux Falls.
Yeah. So we did, the same guy talked to us there. And then he talked to us here.
Josh.
And then Fair and Exchange is kind of their main place, but almost everybody sells the gauges. You can go to Rick Rack, they sell the gauges. But the Fair and Exchange buys directly from Dakota Gauges. Dakota Digital is what they're called. Because they sell gauges for everything. And it's pretty neat. So even Clockworks sells windshields for ATVs.
Yeah.
Kind of neat.
You saw that, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty neat if you didn't watch that video. So they're getting into other things too. That's just motorcycles. And but with Dakota Digital, Harley is their big thing. They just had 4 guys. They're putting 6 on, right? Isn't that what they did? Or they had 2 and they're putting 4 on?
I don't remember.
I think it's 4 and they're putting 6 people on now to put together. It's all American made. Everything. Oh, they do import one thing. The chrome rings, they import them from Wisconsin. So if you're,
right. There's a thumbs up before you guys go.
Other than that, it's all right there, made right there in South Dakota. That's why they're called Dakota Gauges. So it's kind of neat, and I like them. I really like them. I haven't even had time to really play with them like I really want to do. And maybe with the garage and all that, we got a video coming out tomorrow. We're going to show you a little bit more of the garage for those that haven't seen, because you haven't been on Patreon. We showed a lot more stuff on Patreon. We're also thinking about on Patreon, we're going to be needing, if we do these things at the Buffalo Chip this year, are you interested in doing some work, some filming and stuff? We're thinking about on Patreon, on the $9 one, we're going to show you how we do what we do. Show you how to work cameras, show you what kind of microphones we use, show you how to set the cameras up, what we use and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, I started it for a while and people didn't seem too interested. We started last year or something. I did like on Wednesdays, I did it and nobody seemed to really watch this. I said, screw it, I ain't gonna do it anymore. And maybe we'll do this on a Patreon way to where people really want to see it. They'll pay the $9 and they can watch the series on how to do that. We'll talk about drones and all kinds of neat stuff that we've learned the hard way. And because hey, we have no problem with anybody being a YouTuber. I'm happy to give anybody advice.
More than enough stuff to go
Yeah,
around.
you can't be us.
We've got probably at least 4 on right now watching it. So G, Breath Bum, and Harley Won Forever, and who else did I see was on tonight too?
But we're happy to give out information, and because we learned the hard way, and we look at the same thing as one, we're retired, and if you're really getting into this to make money, we ain't making it yet. We spent double the money last year to do what we did. That's how much money we lost. So that's why when people said there was somebody the new what's that girl's name?
Highway Vixen?
Yeah. Highway Vixen, she was just talking. She was on Mexi Philly's channel the other day, and he was telling her to go to all these rallies and stuff. And it's like, the sad thing is, just like we learned, these 3 and 4 day rallies is not worth your time. If you just want to go to a rally to say, hey, I want to film it and show you, you ain't going to make any money on it because there's not enough people interested in it. And that's the problem that we found out by going to these rallies. You spend all this money like Laconia. Even though it was a 10-day rally, by the time I paid for gas, we made $200 off of it. That's it. Maybe the videos will keep growing if people keep watching them, but right now, after the rally was over, I made $200 after we paid for our expenses. And we stayed someplace for free. So that's what you got to look at. And then the other thing people want to do is you want to have fun. Okay. So if you're a drinker or you want to go out and see concerts and all that, you can't do what we do because we do this full time. The whole time we're there, we didn't see any concerts. We didn't watch any bands. We worked the whole rally. Other than sitting down and talking to some of you, that's the only time we weren't working.
Yep. That was
So that's why I don't worry about somebody doing what we do, because unless you're retired and you got a lot of energy, you're probably not going to be able to do what we do because you're not going to make enough money to pay for this. Now, it could be in the long run, and you can get free stuff from people, but just because somebody gives you a cup holder and you do a video on it, and you might sell 5 or 6 of those cup holders at 10%, you're paying taxes on that too. You gotta remember you're self-employed now as being a YouTuber. So you gotta pay your own Social Security too. So you're paying for all that up front when you have to pay your taxes. That's why it costs so much to be a self-employed business person. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube or if you just own your own shop or business. It's all the same. That we've learned that from being a business. We started this as just being something for me to do. I have to do something. I can't just sit around and watch life go by. We originally thought if we could make $200 a month, we'd be happy with that. Well, if we were only doing 1 or 2 rallies, that would be fine because we'd be going still, but to try to go in there and make, especially all you ones that are new, we're at 20,000 subscribers. And at this moment, I've made $2,800 in Sturgis for the month of August. That's it. And that's putting a video out every day. Some days I put up to 4 videos out. That's filming, busting my butt, and doing all that. Not counting the 3 cameras I had to buy too. Gotta take that out.
And guess.
Yeah. So last year was a pretty good year for us. We made $25,000. Sounds good, don't it? We spent $50,000 with all of our travel, the equipment that I needed to update, things that we had to do. That's not even counting any maintenance on the truck. That's
The
counting.
tires,
Yeah.
the oil changes.
We charge a mileage fee on that, and you got to document all that stuff. And you got to prove you're working the rally. And see, YouTube, they look at you as the IRS, which they just hired 80,000 new workers. They look at YouTube as a hobby. You got to prove this isn't a hobby. It's easy for us to prove this because all of you that have ever met us know that we work 24 hours a day. We're working. So we work way more than an 8-hour day. So it's able to claim this kind of stuff. Well, also we're getting places now to stay for free. That makes a big difference too.
That helps a lot.
And that's all about getting trust with the people that you deal with. Right now, you're all new. If you just started your YouTube channel, nobody trusts you at all. And then like us, we
You
draw a
wouldn't
line.
believe how many people, when we go to interview them, they're like, why? What do you want? I don't understand.
And we have some that actually, Paul from the Ferret Exchange said that the very first time we came and talked to him, he wanted to blow us off. But see, all of our vendors that we give shout outs for has made lots and lots and lots of money. And we've never asked for anything from any of them because we wanted to build a relationship with them. Plus, we wanted to be able to show this is what we can do. And it's just like people like Adam Sandoval. You know, he didn't just start getting he didn't get these sponsors right away.
Yeah.
It took him several years of hard work to get the sponsors that he got. Right. You know, he was with Harley for a little while. He got some different sponsorships and stuff with it, but he wasn't getting rich off of it. Now he's gotten to where he's built his channel up to where he's got his campground. He's got another campground in process. He's got a destination ride thing that he's working on now. He's got a lot of stuff. He's able to build a house and pay for it. So he's doing very well, but he's got a lot of years ahead of me. You know, you look at Prime Cut Pro, you might be watching his videos. Wow, that guy's got 50,000. He's got 150,000. He's got 500,000 views last week. Can you believe that? Dude, he's been doing it for 15 years. And he started with, most of his are from spring breaks down in Florida. That was his first 10 years was all spring break stuff. So most of the people that watch his channel wanted to see, woo, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a motorcycle rally.
What?
So that's the difference. But he's already got that that's why when you watch his videos, he's not like us. He's not like a lot of you. He's more showing girls. He shows a little bit of action that's going on. Some more girls, a little bit of action, a lot more girls, because that's his
Style.
Yeah, that's his niche. Everybody's got a niche. Our niche is giving out good information. That's what happened with us in Sturgis when we started in 2020. Our channel blew up. And if you're not in Sturgis.
That's what somebody said. I just remember when you guys were asking just to get to 5,000.
Yeah. And it is. It's very, and it's like us. It's discouraging for me when we quit a rally that everybody stops watching us. Now, I do have some loyal ones that watch all of our videos, and we thank you for that.
Yeah.
But the majority of the people aren't interested in my garage. They're not interested in our RV. They're not interested in this. But when you're talking about Sturgis, yeah, we're going to watch you. But see, compared to last year, last year I made over $5,000 in Sturgis. That's it. In August of last year, $5,000 I made. I have no idea why this year isn't as good as last year's money. And the money is based on advertising, people watching the videos. I don't know. Once again, you got to deal with YouTube, and YouTube's the one that recommends you, and there's no way you can talk to anybody humanly possible that's going to give you any real information about why
YouTube does what it does.
There's one of you on here right now that's having trouble with one of the networks that we deal with. He got kicked off, and he's like, what happened? Well, I told him probably somebody turned him in. See, what happens with YouTube, and we don't have it so much now as we did when we first started, is there's a lot of jealous YouTubers out here. There's people that look at you and say, screw this guy. He's thinking he's coming in on my territory. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to go into YouTube right now and say his video is obscene. Boom. And YouTube pulls it right off.
All you have to do is say, that video offended me, and they'll pull it just like that as soon as he hits
And it takes 48 hours to 72 hours for them to look at it. If you report it, for them to look at it and decide if it was okay. And then they come back and say, oh, it's okay. I'll put it back up for you. Well, no, I've done lost. I needed that up now. I didn't need it up a week ago. When I wanted it a week ago when it came up. I don't want it after the rally was over for you to finally approve it. We had one person that kept getting me all my thumbnails. Every time I put a thumbnail up, they got pulled down. It was in Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle Beach. It was Daytona last year. Everyone would pull it down. And as soon as I put it back up, it would come right back down. Pull it up, come back down. There was nothing wrong with it. It was a girl in a bikini. There was nothing showing.
It was during coleslaw wrestling.
Yeah. There was nothing showing. But I didn't have the time.
That is. I said interested in the sandbar at Lake Havasu. There's a sandbar down here in Bullhead, but is it the sandbar out on the river?
I don't think there's a bar called Sandbar.
No, I just know the one because our next door neighbor used to.
Well, the Sandbar down in
Lake Havasu,
you got to watch because on the main holidays they don't allow you to park on it.
You'll get a ticket.
Our son-in-law got one.
Yeah.
So watch the Sandbars. Look for
That's
signs.
what AB said. Do you think that might be because there were so many other people posting videos of Sturgis content this year?
Could be. Could very well be that there's so much stuff out there that people can't see it. But I mean, I've got some videos. I got a couple videos up to 125,000. My top was Tuesday's 117. I looked at this morning.
He's got a YouTube channel, Greener Than Gourd Full-Time RV Living.
And but it's just YouTube is just it's hard to keep yourself motivated with YouTube because they don't give you nothing. Nobody will talk. I had a guy finally in Daytona last year. Yeah, in Daytona last year that they took a video down that I put up. It was the bikini one. It was a bikini contest at the doghouse, and they pulled it down, said it was inappropriate. And so I took it down. Well, what they did is they wouldn't give me no money for it. There's no use running a video if there's no money on it. So you might as well take it down. And so I took it down and I put something else up real quick. Maybe we did a live or whatever. And then I wrote to them and I said, so then I kept writing them under the thing. Finally, some guy wrote me back and said, what's going on? And I said, this is a bikini contest. It's on TV all the time. I've clicked on other ones. There's nothing obscene. There's no girls shaking their butts. That's the one they get you for, is shaking their butts. That's what they're getting me for right now. Any girl that turns around and shakes her butt more than once, they gig it. They put it down where I don't make any money. No commercials. And so I wrote this one. I wasn't going to waste it. So I pulled it back down. I wrote him and I talked to this guy and he's like, I don't understand. I said, it's already been 48 hours and you people still haven't responded to me. He says, let me watch it right now. So he came back and sent me another email and said, here's my email. You can contact me. And so he wrote me back and says, I don't see anything wrong with your spot. I'm going to go talk to my manager about it and see what we can do for you. And about an hour later, they came back and they okayed it. But they never said what. See, that's what, if we put copyrighted music on, they'll tell you right there, between 1 minute and 1 minute and 20 seconds, you're picking up a copyrighted music because you can't film anything. At a bike show, if they're playing DJ music or anything like that, you cannot have that in the background. You're going to get gigged. It takes about 8 to 10 seconds for YouTube to pick up that music, and then they're going to give all your money to
that person.
That's right. To the writer of the song or whoever it is. So you make crap on it. They did that to us. And I'm pretty good now. That's why when people say, I don't like it that you guys put background music when there's stuff going on. I said, because there's too much other music that could pick it up. And after you spend all this time editing it, and then I got to process it through the computer, 30 minutes or so, then I've got to upload it. Could take anywhere from an hour to 12 hours to upload it to YouTube, depending on how many people do it. So now I want it to go out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning at the rally. Now they red flag it because there's a song in there. So my choice is I can ask YouTube to fix it, which it takes them forever to fix it, or I can re-edit it and process it again. It's not coming out at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I don't let any music that if I watch my video before I finish it, if there's any song that's more than 5 seconds long, it goes. Because you could get one that's all shook me all night long, and they just hear that one or two main words, and it's enough for their thing to pick it up. And believe me, I've fought with, which it is. We put up over probably close to 800 videos in 3 years. We've got over 5.5 million views. So we've done a lot more than even the Monkey Man. It's been doing this longer than me. We put more videos out than he has in the 3 years we've doing it compared to his 5 years. But we put out videos every day. He doesn't necessarily do a video every day during rally time. And he's not at every rally. I'm just using him as an example, not saying anything good or bad about him. We met him, nice guy. We spent a lot of time this time with him.
We did,
a lot
couple
more than
times,
yep. Talked to him for a very long time this year and bumped into him several times. And he actually sat down at the table and chatted with us for a long time. And
one forever said he did a live at one night Jack's the whole time with background music playing, and it was approved. If you're talking the whole time, because then you're talking over the music. If we'd stop, like let's say somebody walked up and we're like, then that's when they get you.
Or if you're like on a motorcycle, if you're revving your bike up and there's a lot of noise on Main Street and it's not enough for them to pick, they're hearing the motorcycles too, so they can't pick it up. So if it's a noisy bar, now if it's a band, most bands won't pick it up. But there is some bands
that play
like Kid Rock and stuff like this that actually has live videos out, live songs out. Then that's how it picks it up. Or they sound so good that it sounds like the record. And once again, but that's why I don't film once in a while we'll film a house band if they're not very good. That's why I pick it up. I mean, if it's not very good music, like one of the videos the other day, they're playing the trumpet. That nobody even knows what that song probably was. And but I put it in there because I thought it was kind of neat. And for a few seconds, I think it was 5 seconds.
Oh, is
And-
that with the one at the Buffalo Chip when that guy did the solo?
Yeah. So I put a little bit of that on there the other day just to give you a little bit of an idea.
It was her band. It was her song. So
Yeah.
she had written the song.
But she probably has made a, she probably recorded it.
Yeah.
And so there's a recording on that song. So you got to just watch, or somebody could see it. If you're filming, like I've seen a lot of people do that. Mixie Philly's done it. He's done it. Some of the Kid Rock stuff last year. He filmed some of that. I will not take that challenge. I don't want a lawsuit. Well, you get a lawsuit. You can get a lawsuit for copying somebody's performance like that. They've got, that's why they say at a lot of the events, like Panama City, you weren't allowed to bring a camera in. Well, we were, because we know the promoter and he knows we're not going to film the music. And he's like, because the security stopped, both times they stopped us. And I'm like, after the first time we had one guy, I'm like, are you going to be here tomorrow night? And he's like, yeah. So when they stopped us again, I'm like, hey, whatever his name was. Oh yeah, let them in. They're okay. So normally at most concerts, they're not going to let you come in with video equipment. The Buffalo Chip's a little different. Some of the other concerts are a little different, but the Iron Horse, they're one that don't allow video equipment in their place. They'll stop if they can catch you. They'll stop you.
Somebody don't like your whistling guy background music.
That was my country music.
It's like,
It fit the mood. It's a Western. It's like B-rated. It's like old Clint Eastwood movie. That was what that's supposed to be for.
Evan blocked you. Who did we? Oh, are you talking to Dawn?
Yeah, he's talking to Dawn. He blocked her. So whole nother story there going on. But that is, I like doing YouTube, and it's fun to do YouTube. But you got to remember, which is what people told us when we did it. You got to remember that this is fun, and it's hard to make it a business. There's 1 million videos being posted today on YouTube. Might even be more than that now.
I thought it was like 1 million videos an hour. They said that are uploaded.
I think it's 1 million a day, and so there's a lot of content coming out, and you can't take breaks. It's like people now that are taking breaks. They're like, oh, I'm not going to play for, I'm not going to do any videos for a week. Sturgis was so hard. I'm going to rest. You just lost your whole rhythm that you had with YouTube. You got to start. You're like starting all over at day one again. And you got it just like
YouTube loves consistency.
And same time all the time.
What was that?
I don't know. Power shortage or something.
It was like we froze and came back.
I don't know. We still live? Sunday live. It says it's still going on. Somebody write something. Make sure we're still live. Look like a power shortage.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Yep, I see a comment came up.
Right.
We're still live. So no matter what you're doing, YouTube is fun, but I think a lot of people, especially these people that are in YouTube right now, there's like this guy that's still in Sturgis now. I don't know if he lives there or not. Isabel or Z or something is his name. Putting a lot of videos out and stuff. What you want to do if you want to be a YouTuber is you've got to find something that's unique to you got to find a niche. Our niche is giving good information out. Okay. And so we spend a lot of time. This is a 2-person thing. She spends a lot of time on the phone setting all this stuff up. And I know a lot of you YouTubers look at us and that's what they say. How do they get all this stuff? How do they get these people to let them do what they do? Because she's on the phone with them all the time. And then I've been in business my whole life and I've dealt with people, CEOs, all kinds of things that I've dealt with people. And you just got to be who you are, true to who you are. You got to be honest. Don't be somebody you're not. You're not actors. If you went to acting school, maybe you could be an actor. There's a lot of YouTubers out here that are not who they are. Like when you really do meet them, they're like a real big butthole to you because they're the nicest guy on YouTube. Oh yeah, I'm a friend of yours. Come have a beer with me. And then when you see them, yeah, can I buy you a beer? Screw you, dude. Get away from me. Who are you? You know, they think they're like a movie star. And you get to be kind of like this because people are watching you on a big screen. We used to be like that. We had a lot of YouTubers that we really thought, wow. Once we became a YouTuber, those people are, they ain't nobody to us. They're just another YouTubers. We know what they're doing. Doesn't matter. Just like Prime Cut Pro. He's got 960,000 subscribers.
Nicest guy.
He's just another guy filming. And very nice. He talks to people. I think we're probably the first YouTubers that really approached him. And now a lot of you have gone and talked to him and stuff. He'll talk to you out there. But once again, when you talk to people, take everything with a grain of salt, because you've got to figure out what you want to do. You got to figure out your style. You can't do what I do. You can't do what Prime Cut Pro does. You can't do what
Anybody else does.
Yeah, you can copy somebody's.
You.
You can copy somebody's style, but it's just like us. We all put videos up similar to Prime Cut Pro. Well, we don't put we don't get the views that he puts out. Why? Because he's got 960,000 subscribers, and us just doing YouTube for motorcycle rallies, we are not going to get 960,000 subscribers. It just isn't going to happen at rallies. Now there is some, million mile guys got a bunch of, he's up to, I don't know if he's got a million yet or not, but there's a lot of big YouTubers that are in the motorcycle community that have a lot of views. I mean, Adam Sandoval, I think he's only got 165 or 180 or whatever he's at now. I haven't looked in a while. Monkey Man's got like 75,000. He's pretty hot right now. But I mean, most YouTubers, even Scotty he's not a 100,000 guy. I think he's got, I don't know, 60, 70,000. I don't remember what he's got. But I mean, it's not a lot. Scotty's like that. He's doing it. He makes a little bit of money off it, but he's not living off that money. He doesn't make enough to live off of. He had to sell a book, and he's got to do odd jobs to make a living to get by with what he does.
So he lives on the road. So
yeah. So it's all different. I was surprised when he talked to me and he said, he worked before the rally a couple of days, and he works right at the end of the rally. He works at a leather shop for a couple of days, and that's how he makes enough money to get to his next stop. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you did that. It's interesting. Yeah. So when you start talking to people and find out, okay, they do have other ways, like us, we have retirement money coming in. So we could sit here at home the rest of our life and be very, very comfortable. But we do the motorcycle rally, so that's money that's coming out of our pocket. So that's the advantage we have over most of you that are younger that don't have money coming in, unless you had a rich relative left you a bunch of money in the bank. But if I had a rich relative left me a bunch of money in the bank, I don't know if I'd be doing YouTube or not. I might buy a campground and have my own in Sturgis and do something. I don't know. Don't know what I do.
So Dan from Michigan said, thanks for letting me join your group. I used to ride a motorcycle. I just got some financial problems. Yeah. It's tough.
Happens with everybody. There was a time we didn't have a motorcycle. When the kids were growing up, I sold my motorcycle. Yeah. And I rode other people's. I had friends that had extra bikes and stuff like that I could ride and stuff. But I didn't own one for a while. Probably about 10 or 15 years I didn't have a bike.
Julio says, what do you think about Serial One Bicycle? I don't know what that is. Unless that's a YouTube channel. I don't know. Serial One Bicycle.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is, Julio.
I'd have to look. Keep talking.
So anyway, we've been on probably longer than we should be. Are you about ready to get off yet?
Bicycle.
Is it 2 hours and 41 minutes? You've been on almost 3 hours. No wonder I'm tired. So anybody else?
Okay, go back.
Just leave. Did you find it?
No, I found a cereal for bicycles. Like it's
a serial number. Oh, eating cereal on a bicycle. No, I don't think that's what it is. But anyway,
I don't know about it.
Yes, Kelly's very nice from Prime Cut Pro, and then I think Ricky is awesome documentary. He's a really nice guy too. Both those guys are, and almost everybody we've met that's doing YouTube that we've met on the road, and people starting out and everything, or whoever you are. I've never really met anybody that's like blown us off or told us not to come around. People we used to watch when we were doing the RV stuff, there was a few of those that they just, I don't know, I guess they just didn't trust people. They didn't really want to meet anybody and they never did like any meet and greets or anything like that. And they were halfway decent. So who else is on here? Facebook user. Oh, that's still Dan. Okay. He said he's started watching us on YouTube and he just got on Facebook and saw a couple minutes ago, and I'm watching you on YouTube. Okay. So this here is our good night, Mark, our Facebook page, all about Sturgis. It's for you guys to help everybody else that wants to come to Sturgis, or if you've been to Sturgis, you've got ideas you want to throw out there, rides to go on, things to do. If somebody has a question, you can help them out if you know the answer.
Like somebody was asking today, what campgrounds are you looking at? Somebody the other day asked, hey, I'm thinking about Steel Pony. Can somebody tell me their goods and bads about Steel Pony? Actually, about 5 or 6 people came on there and they all had good comments. So it's kind of neat to give people an idea. But the part that I get mad about is just like with the buffalo chip, just because we know a little bit more about the buffalo chip because we stayed there. It's when people badmouth it that don't really know what they're even talking about. I'm not even sure if some of these people that said, but when we first before we ever went to the buffalo chip, we heard people were pooping in the showers because the bathrooms were all flooded. They were all overflowing. Nobody's pooping
done that
in the
showers.
We've seen that in nowhere down there. Oh, you're
I
going to be
think somebody
waiting.
told us the same story about Glencoe too, and
Yeah.
we talked to people who go to Glencoe. They said no, that's never happened.
So
They've
I think
never
it's
seen
just
that.
people trying to look for attention. They're trying to say stuff, and it's like, yes, you could have a bad experience. You could go in there and maybe somebody did have crapped in the shower. Maybe a guy had diarrhea or something and was drunk and went in there and hosed himself off. Yes, that could happen, but we didn't see any of that. We seen the bathrooms were clean. Some people said, "Oh, you're never going to sleep. You're never going to sleep there." We brought the gun muffs. I brought earplugs.
We were scared to death. We weren't going to be able to
And we had to sleep for doing videos. We had no trouble. Most nights we're in bed by 10 or 11 o'clock if I'm not editing late. And there we were actually, last year we were getting videos out earlier. So I wasn't up all night long editing. So we had no trouble sleeping. Now we got the air conditioner running. If you're on the other, which there's places you can stay on the big hill right across from the stage. And yes, I'll bet you your trailer rattles all night long until the concert's over from the bass that's coming off of the
they
band.
said you can also get next to a group of people
That's
that
right.
stay up all night.
But that could be in any campground.
Yes.
Now there's exceptions. Kathmandu's pretty strict. We also talked to Lamp
Fear.
They said that they're very
earplugs.
particular about making people quiet down at a certain time. So there is some campgrounds like that, but overall, most campgrounds want people to do what they want
And
to
they're
do
air
as long as they're not hurting anybody. Call the police, they always say. Glencoe's kind of like that.
Right.
Buffalo Chip's kind of like that. So there's a lot of them that are just let it go. They're not there to police you. As long as you're not hurting anybody or killing anybody, I guess you can kill yourself. They don't care. But there's people that's rolled at 4-wheel drives or ATVs, golf carts, and have died at some of these campgrounds and stuff. And that's you being stupid and drunk, or maybe just being stupid. But so things do happen out there. It happens everywhere. It's just like people on our group page here. Somebody started talking about COVID the other day, and I put on there, we're not going to talk about COVID on our channel on this one because people get sick everywhere.
Yeah.
And let's say COVID's completely gone next year, and we go to Rally and somebody gets the flu. Are we going to talk about it on a Facebook group that some dude got the flu, or maybe 100 people got the flu? Who cares? People get sick. People get food poisoning. People are going to get drunk and stupid. People are going to die on motorcycles. That's part of when you put hundreds of thousands of people together at an event. Something's going to happen. Some people are going to go home safe. Some people aren't. That's why we say be cautious. Ride these rides at certain times of day. Don't be doing this. We're trying to give you those good tips to where we want you to go home and come back next year and have fun with us. And we want to try to do some more fun things with people and stuff. And that's what we're going to try to do next year. Plus, do a lot more videoing, but we're going to try to stick with the Buffalo Chip. We'll do stuff before Rally. We'll have bike rides out. We'll have a lot of stuff talking up to it. We're going to talk about campgrounds, and we're going to talk about things to do, the hill climb, all kinds of great stuff. We've got a couple of vendors that'll be coming on. One of the vendors is going to be putting another truck on this year. Hopefully in January, we'll be talking to him on that. So we got a lot of really neat things that we're going to be bringing to the channel to get you ready for the rallies that are coming up, plus also the big one, Sturgis.
Yep. So you done?
I guess. What Neil say?
He said the only bad thing he could say about the chip was that the music was so loud it made his brain rattle inside his head. He had to leave it, made him sick.
And so that's why we stay on the backside of the screen.
You should have been at Panama City.
Yeah, Kid Rock.
No, Jackal.
Jackal.
Oh, that was bad.
The loudest it's ever been at a concert.
I've heard anywhere. And we've been to some pretty loud concerts. So let me see. I got sick when I got back last Thursday. Not COVID, just fusion sick, cold. Everybody's saying goodnight to Ryder X. He's going to go. Kathmandu is a good campground. Mike was awesome. We fed him a couple days. I think we were going to stay at a different place next year due to the dust.
And it wasn't. You're going to get dust everywhere you go. You're not going to find any place that's not dusty because it's about the rain. If it depends on how dry it is out there, depends on a lot of it. Like we had smoke the week before the rally came, pre-rally, we got smoke. There was some fires out there. We're like, oh no, don't let that start.
It was in Wyoming. It was right on the border.
Don't let that start up again. And luckily they put the fire out. That was the only one we had during the rally. But I mean, last year it wasn't just the dust. It was more of the smoke than it was the dust.
Yeah.
So, but it's always going to be dusty wherever you go. And
if it hasn't rained, if it's rained, then it's going to be muddy.
Well, it could be. We get a couple, if it rains a week or so before, normally Sturgis has rain all the time. This year, it's just they got a really big dry spell, and it happens. So they didn't get any rain. They didn't get any rain before. Now they're getting some rain now, but they didn't get anything before. So it's the grass dies. And then when everybody drives their motorcycles and their cars and their trucks and their campers and all this stuff, walk on it, you kill all that grass, you smash it down, and now all that's there is dust. Well, if you went down to Wyatt's lemonade stand, if you went down there during the rally, if you noticed half his grass in his little area that he had where the little Johnny and the spots were at, all the grass was dead. And I went to his dad and I said, man, what happened? He said, I cut the grass. It was green on top. And that's why the buffalo chip, for instance, did not cut the top 40. They did not cut that grass because it'd bring all the dead stuff out underneath. It's still green on the top until the dead gets to it. I'm like, very interesting. So there's a reason why sometimes they do what they do. And
yeah,
that's why I put a cover on my motorcycle every night.
Madness between, what is it, a method to their madness?
Yeah.
There you go. So.
All right, wrap it up.
So thanks for coming along tonight. It was fun hanging out with all you guys. A lot of my cousins were on, a few of my friends were on, so it was good seeing all you guys. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to go to our group page.
Got a bunch of great videos coming up next week, so check those out. We'll have some more stuff on Sturgis. We'll have some other good stuff. We've got the garage video coming up tomorrow. Tuesday right now, if I don't move it, it's telling you some more about Dakota digital gauges, how to program it, and all the neat you can actually see what's going on, so it's kind of neat. I don't know what the rest of the video is going to be next week. I haven't started.
Bullhead City, Arizona.
We've also got a whole bunch of Topless Tuesday stuff. I just got a whole hard drive of a whole bunch of videos. So Patreon people at $25, you'll be seeing those. That'll probably going to last a month or two. So you're probably going to get, I might get one more squeezed out here in August. If not, I'm gonna try to do every Saturday. You'll get a video, so you guys can check that out and see that excitement. I try to edit them all and give you some good footage. Zoom up a little closer for you. So with that, we are going to leave you, and next Sunday we'll have another live, and pretty soon we're going to try to get into Vegas and do
one at Twin Peaks.
There you go.
In Henderson for all you guys. Good night, Neil. And now, yes. If we don't make it next year, we'll give you a camera to do Jimmy and the American Legion. Good night.